Hello. I'm hoping you guys will be able to hear me at the moment, but I'll wait for confirmation and then I'll tell you what's going on. I'm in trouble with the video, basically. To summarize, frustrating. Let me know if you guys can hear me. You can hear me. Okay. All right. Okay. Awesome. So the situation that I'm having is basically, so it seems like the wire that connects my phone to my laptop isn't connecting. So something's going wrong. And yeah, I guess sometimes, I plug it in and sometimes it's just showing a blank screen like it does now, and I give the wires a little wiggle and it works. It's just not sending any sound or my image from from my phone to my laptop. So yeah, obviously that's a big problem because it wouldn't be a massive problem if you guys couldn't see me, although I guess it might be awful for views, but yeah, not being able to, it's just not sending any sounds as well. It's B12 deficient. So I'm gonna see if I can find why I need to replace it. Yeah, Louis, I was thinking the same thing. I've tried wiggling them and it's just not sending anything at all. Not even, it was sending like bits of sound, like, and the sounds like in and out, because I was playing a video. But turn the lights on. I don't think a reboot is going to help it. The cord has been working. See, that's the thing. Like, the cord is basically in three pieces. I've got the lightning adapter, which goes into my phone, and that's got a HDMI port, which is what I use to connect my phone to my laptop, and it's got a charging port as well. So there's a lightning adapter, and then there's the actual wire, the HDMI cable that connects the lightning adapter to the video capture device, and then the video capture device is going into my laptop. So I don't even know. I've been jiggling around all the last 20 minutes. So I don't even know which part needs replacing, like if it's A, B or C. And these things, I don't want to buy all three if I only need one element of it, if that makes sense, because it's not cheap stuff. And obviously I've got enough like donations to cover it, but obviously I don't want to spend it on stuff that I don't need, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're in a bit of a this is a bit of a tough one, you guys. Try slapping it. So yeah, I'm just thinking what to do, because I could go order and return. I could just go live on TikTok, but then obviously it's a shame not being able to stream it to YouTube, and I know that some of you guys don't even do TikTok. If I'm gonna look for like a whole new solution, then that's gonna take me more than that's not like a short-term fix, man, it's annoying because let me try blowing them. Hang on. See if we can get anything. Come on. Like, who's sabotaged my equipment? Right, I'm blowing them all. I don't know why. Imagine if that worked, that'd be like magic. But it hasn't. Damn, I think one of the wires is knackered, but I need to identify which one and then order whatever needs replacing, I think, before the next one. So yeah, I think I'm not going to be able to stream onto YouTube. So unless I'm happy to do I'm happy to do a TikTok live and not stream it. But yeah, there's no point in streaming. You can only hear half of the conversation. It's just a black square. Let's see what everyone's saying. It's a shame. I'm so sorry. It's not even. I don't know why I'm apologising, because it's not my fault. It's just what these. You don't know that. I'm not going to know it's broken until I try and use it. And obviously it was fine last week. I don't use it throughout the week because I've got no need to. So just have a little drink. Yeah, and yeah, you guys have shown up, and I am sorry still. Yeah, but anyway, look, we got some awesome people here as well. We've got Willow Blue and Louis and Sabby Coops and Vegan Kaz and Navia. I think Chip has a proposal. What do you want? What are you saying, guys? Do you want to watch my outreach through Chip's stream on YouTube instead of mine? Because I think Chip can make that happen. I'll be happy. I'll be happy. I'll go live on TikTok as normal. Obviously, I won't be streaming. I'll end this stream, and what you'd have to do is you'd have to go over to Chip's channel and watch it on there. If you guys are happy to, that is an option. And then obviously, I'll try and get the cable sorted for next week. What do you think about that? Guys, you're spelling my name wrong. It's with a J. Yeah, because I don't think this is not going to be resolved today. Just bear with me. I'm just catching up with comments. What are people saying? Cords, plugs and connectors can be so fragile. Yeah, that's probably it. It probably just needs frequently updating. I'll probably have the same issue in bloody 6 months' time. Vegan sign, guys. Stop flirting with Chip. Anyone could restream for you. A lot of people might be cool to sit and listen. Yeah, but it will only be half the conversation because it's not even sending the sound into my laptop. To the oh, hang on. I'm just catching up. What's going on? I was waiting for this stream my whole life. Stop. I feel awful. Guys, we're gonna come up with a solution, okay? This is what we do. This is what we do. Hang on. If you give me the sorry, Chip. Everybody is talking, so I'm just trying to find the important messages. Not that you guys' messages aren't important. If you give me the RTMP from YouTube, where's this RMTP? Is that it? If I put it in the chat, is that a bad thing? Because like people can see it, and like the non-vegan trolls in there could like hijack it or something. Shall I send it to you directly? Let me know. Let me know that the answer to that, Chip, because you're a tech sav and I'm definitely not. Smart. Yeah, exactly. See, this is why it's so good that you're here. I can stream to yours. Cool. David, that sounds frustrating. You all know how tech drives me up the wall via that RMTP URL. Yeah, I just need to. I love you guys too. Right, where am I? We can meet on. Okay, right. Look, listen. I'm going to go live on TikTok right now. Do I need to end this stream in order for you to do whatever you need to do? Yeah, I am on live chat BSL. It's just I don't know. Screw solutions. It's time to panic. God, don't say that. Nah, it would take me at least another like 3 sessions of this happening for me to crash out. Talk with Chip directly on YouTube. We will shut up and let you and Chip talk. Early birthday? My birthday is not even until October. Don't end it yet. Okay. Look, I'm going to go live on TikTok and I can talk to you on there, Chip, if you want. And then you guys on YouTube will, I'll let you know what's going on. Either way, nothing's going to stop us. We are doing this damn outreach, okay? Bloody non-vegan gods out there trying to sabotage us. Gotta get your shit fixed. Oh no, yeah, this is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Louis, what date? What date in October? I'm 26. Hang on a second. What am I doing? Right, go live. Right. Okay. Going live now. 21st. Oh, mine's on the 26th. So you're like 5 days before mine. Yes, keep yourselves entertained, and it's all down to you now, Chip. Everyone's depending on you to come up with a solution because I cannot. Yeah, I think there's a couple different solutions we could have. We could either, I think Chip can stream it to mine or to his. If not, let's see. We've got Chip and David. Hey.
Hey, Jim.
Hey, how's it going?
So do you have access to a computer?
Yes.
Okay, go.
Oh, your teacup.
Sorry. Go to content.
Go to where, sorry?
Sorry, go to YouTube Studio on your computer.
Yeah.
Content, live.
So hang on, let me open a new tab because I'm on my laptop. I'm on my live stream at the moment, like because people are commenting and stuff, and then I use my phone for TikTok. But let me open a new tab. So TikTok, so YouTube Studio.
Yes.
And then content.
Live.
Live, yeah.
And do you see your stream right now?
I do.
If you open it, does it open it in the live streaming thing?
Let's see.
Like it should open it in a place where you see the output and on the right the chat. And under like some tabs, analytics, stuff.
Oh yeah, I've got that.
Okay, and do you have a stream URL?
Stream URL. I think so.
Okay. 1 second.
So it's not the video link that I would share for anyone to watch it, is it?
No, there's a stream URL that starts with RTMP.
Yeah,
And
I've copied something, and I think. Oh no, it doesn't start with that though.
Sometimes you gotta drag it over a bit. Like it's hard to explain, but you gotta move things over just to be able to see the RTMP. I'm not sure if you know what I mean.
Like make the window bigger.
Yeah, or smaller. Yeah. Or bigger. Sorry. Yeah. It's kind of like hidden sometimes. Like you just gotta like. It's hard to explain. You gotta drag it over or something.
But you do see the stream URL, right?
It's not the stream key, is it?
No, so you need to have a stream URL and the stream key. Do you see the stream URL?
No, I don't know where to find it. I'm looking.
Do you see the chat on the right? What do you see when you see this? Do you just like do you see like the editing, like how you see editing for a video, or do you see like
maybe you could send a screenshot, Chip.
I don't know where to send a screenshot. I don't know if you're also in Discord now.
Let's see. So I've got my actual live stream open, which is it's YouTube Studio, and then it's got oh, I've got it. Is it? Hang on. Stream URL. It starts with
RTMP.
Yeah. And then there's a backup server URL just underneath it.
Yeah, and do you have a stream key for that?
A stream key as well.
Yeah.
Yes. I can send
so
both.
I need the stream key. Can you send me? Yeah, send me both on Discord or something. Or whatever it's convenient. I can open whatever.
Can I do Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Let me just find you. Right. So I've just sent stream key, and now I'm going to send stream URL. Okay. Have you got those? Chip has gone. So for anybody on TikTok, I'll be doing my usual thing in a minute. I'm just trying to sort out some tech stuff. But yeah. But we will be having conversations and inviting people up soon. You'll just have to either come back or hang around and be patient. But yeah, hopefully we can get going in a bit. Right, Chip. Hey, Chip. Uh-oh, I can't hear you now. Oh, I wonder if it's just me. I can't hear David either, bloody hell. I don't know why, because the sound was coming out of my phone before. Let me take out this cable because it's not doing anything. Okay. Yeah.
What are you doing,
that's better. I can hear you guys now.
I think I actually found a solution. Let's see if we start streaming now, if people see it. Because if they do, it's good. I don't think they'll see the comments, but I think they will hear us, and
Okay.
hopefully everything works. Okay, I'm streaming. So let's see if I go on your YouTube channel, if people see it now. I'm curious.
Okay. I don't know whether to end my stream.
Don't end it. Don't end it.
Okay.
Okay, so people don't see it, but I am streaming to that location.
Maybe it's because my stream is kind of overriding yours.
Oh, you mean like you're already streaming to that?
Yeah, I don't see yours, Chip.
Yeah, because I'm streaming through OBS. So
Oh yeah, can you stop streaming through OBS? Let's see. I started streaming now. Let's see if it sends it. It's working. It's working. Yeah. Let's go. And yeah, let's go. It's got it working. Wait, but there's no sound. The only issue is there's no sound. Let me see if... Wait, I can make the sound work also. I think it's just the... Oh, okay, I see.
okay,
There you go. I think it's just the...
we can see but not hear now.
Oh,
No
okay,
jam
I see.
audio.
There you go. Now there's sound.
Okay, so people can hear you and me.
Yes, I think they can. Let me stop my... If I can mute myself somehow. Maybe this? No. Okay, now it's good. Now it should be good.
Okay. That's cool. I can hear an echo on your side though, but it might just be because you're playing a video in the background.
Yeah, but I stopped also that, so there should be no more issues also with
Okay.
that.
Oh my god, I could literally kiss you.
Yay, it's working. Nice.
Success.
Okay, well, yeah, let's go then. Jesus,
Let's
I
go.
feel like usually I have like a checklist and I'm like, hang on a minute. Okay, I've done I don't need to do that. I feel like a bit thrown off now. Anyway.
Yeah, you can just use Chip every time. Then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, no, I am going to try and sort my cable out. Yeah, hopefully we can get that sorted for next time. But yeah, anyway, let's forget about that for now. Let's forget about tech problems and let's just get going. So yeah, thank you for everybody's help and keeping me calm and everything, and obviously for Chip for sorting it out. So that's cool. And yeah, anybody on TikTok. So I'm basically here to have a conversation with people about why you're not vegan. I'm not here for any debates, or I'm not here for any, you know, I really, really would like to speak to open-minded people who are willing to come up and kind of look at their morals and their actions and see if they're being consistent, you know, not to like dig their heels in and, you know, try and win an argument or whatever. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, really want sort of honest conversations would be good. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get the first guest up. Oh, hang on. I usually put the link to the live. This is what's stopping me, because in my brain's like, wait, there's something you haven't done. I usually oh wait, let me write link to join the live so that it's just super clear. Link to join the... Oh, something's happened, I think, Chip.
Yeah, I made a small blunder. It's okay, I fixed it, sorry.
You're all over it. Don't even need
Yeah.
to tell you. Right, link to join the live. Let me just pin that. Okay. That is pinned. Now I think I definitely have done everything. Cool. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get the first guest up. First we have notification. And you guys, you have to be at least 18 to join also. Yeah, it's TikTok rules. So if you're not over 18, then please, you're free to chat, stay and hang around and watch the live and speak in the chat. But yeah, I will have to drop you. Okay. I've tried to accept already 2 people, but they've both gone. I've got person. Hey, are you over 18?
Yo, that pig in the background looked kind of good.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, people who are here for honest conversations, you guys. Fish, F, and real. Hey, are you over 18?
Hold on, let me finish my burger.
Yeah, you can request once you finish that, and then we can have a conversation. Because obviously I'm not going to wait for you to finish eating first. Hey, Emily, are you over 18? Hello?
Nigga. Nigga.
Okay.
Nigga.
Right, we've got some children here. So, this is Convia. Hey, Convia, are you over 18?
Yeah.
Okay, what year were you born?
2001.
Okay. So, what's your understanding of veganism, first of all?
I like pigs.
I'm asking what your understanding of veganism is.
Oh, that we don't eat meat?
No, so veganism is an ethical
Oh,
principle.
shit.
Are you here for a serious conversation?
Yeah, I swear.
Okay. So, it's an ethical. Hang on a minute. Somebody's
Hold up,
saying
my
that.
meat's ready. Hold up.
Okay. Yeah, I think people are like from the same Discord or something. It's always the case when we get like one like underage troll or whatever, they're all like piling in. I don't know. I think it's like a hobby. It's like kind of sad to be honest. Like out of everything you could be doing, out of everything, you choose this. Brisky Risky, are you over 18?
Yeah,
Okay. What year were you born?
2003.
Okay. What is your understanding of veganism?
Um, I don't know. I just want to talk about ducks.
Yeah, so we need to bros. Yeah, we need to obviously have an understanding of what veganism is before we can move on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is with these kids, man. Like, I don't know. Like, go play outside, go watch a cartoon or something. Why you?
Go play a sport, do a hobby. What are you
There are
wasting your
so
time
there are
for?
so many things. Go and do something artistic, improve a skill, go and learn something. Bloody hell. I mean, well you're welcome to be here and learn about this. But yeah, guys, I don't know, you know, you coming up here saying I'm gonna eat a burger. I eat burgers all the time. It's not a flex. Obviously, you know, not made out of animal exploitation because vegans do eat burgers too. Hey Jordan, are you over 18?
Yes, late 2007, August 12th.
Okay, awesome. So what's your understanding of veganism?
I'm not trying to sound mean when I say this, all right? What
Okay.
is, like, if you were, like, nicest way possible, if you were stranded on, like, a forest or whatever,
Oh wait,
and, like,
sorry, Jordan. I just want to know what your understanding of veganism is before
Okay,
you
okay,
ask
yeah,
any
yeah, yeah.
like
Understand.
questions.
My learning of veganism
Hmm.
is the person not willing to eat meat to save animals' lives and only eating plants and vegetables. That is my understanding of veganism. I haven't looked much into this, but I just want
Okay.
to ask you like a hypothetical and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's more of an ethical principle, and it goes beyond what we eat. So, it's the ethical principle that we should live without exploiting other animals. So,
Yeah.
not only do we not use animals for food, we also don't wear their skin or their fur or feathers, or use them for
Yeah.
entertainment or testing, or for any purpose that goes against their interests. So that's what I mean by exploiting. So
Okay, yeah.
you can ask your question now.
So, one thing about the wearing animal stuff, that would take out most leather products and some couches because couches use leather and leather comes from cow skin.
Sure.
So that would take down the marketing business a little bit from leather use.
Yeah,
But my
we wouldn't use leather made from like cow skins or animal skins.
yeah, yeah. But my hypothetical was if so in the forest, obviously that like most plants and stuff, they're like bad and stuff like funguses and whatever. Would you like hypothetically eat like this is just in your own question. Would you for your life, would you have like kill like a capybara or something, eat its meat to survive, or would you just stick to like finding off like the good funguses or plants?
If I was in a survival situation, yeah, I don't know, Jordan. I don't think I'd know what I'd do unless I was actually in that situation. But I mean, the point of this is that we talk about the situation that we're currently in. Like we live in a world and a society now where we can easily
Because yeah,
access everything that we need
I
to
understand.
thrive as a vegan.
I
So
understand where you're coming from because like we feel for dogs, we feel for cats, like we
yeah,
value their life. But then whenever it comes like other animals, we just kill them and everything.
yeah.
But uh, the whole purpose or like the beginning purposes is what scientifically says back in the 1900 around 1950. They were talking about animals were most likely here. This is not on any beliefs, but through biblical things. They were there to keep us alive, and so we could survive back then whenever
Yeah.
we.
Okay. So I just want to focus on the now because there's no point talking about in the past animals like they might have helped our species survive back then, but I think it's irrelevant because what matters now is our current situation. Like, for example, in the past, we might have had to survive by doing lots of horrible things that we know we don't need to do today. So, Jordan, do you think we should respect other animals?
We should respect other animals, but
Okay.
there should be like a line drawn between it.
What do you
Like,
mean?
so what I mean is like, you know all, the non-violent animals, right? Like pigs, goats, and stuff, or like things that don't want to hurt you.
Okay.
I think where we could start killing and eating the meat is the animals that attack you, like bears. What else attacks you? Wolves. Like that's the line between where we eat meat and where we don't eat meat.
Is that what you do now?
Uh, I mean, it's not. I've eaten pig maybe like a few weeks ago, but I'm starting to like draw that line on myself.
Yeah. Do you exploit cows for dairy and for their flesh and
I haven't eaten cows in a while.
chickens? 37% of worldwide protein comes from animals. We get most from plants.
Okay, but even if we're taking that 37% out, that still leaves around I would say around 58-ish% of protein. If we have 8 billion people in the world, then that would drastically take down how much protein is in the actual world because of how many people need protein to survive. And we need protein so we can build muscles. We need protein so we can lift bigger things. We need protein so we can stay healthy.
Yeah,
But
so yeah, so we can get all the protein that we need on a plant-based diet without exploiting anybody.
yeah, but that was just my question. But I gotta go now, so.
Oh, okay. Are you not able to answer any more questions? Because I was going to revisit what you said about respecting animals.
Oh yeah, we can visit that real quick. But my friend wants to go to the pool in like 10 minutes, so.
Okay, because I was going to ask about what you said about. You said that we should respect humans who are moral patients, but not other animals who are moral patients. Do you?
Like,
your
so the pigs and stuff,
Yeah.
we could possibly keep those in or whatever. But like, I'm talking about the animals that would like attack you off of like pure survival instincts, like
Yeah. So the moral patients. So do you not think that we should respect them, even though they don't understand moral agency, they don't understand morals in the same way as us?
In my personal opinion, if they're going to kill me, then I might as well have to kill it first.
Watch
Okay,
the
right.
K word.
In a situation of self-defense, yes, but I'm asking, should you respect them if they haven't done anything to you?
If they don't come after me, then I don't need to come after it.
Okay, so then should we respect them?
Depends.
On what?
What depends on what situation you're in.
In your current situation, should we respect other animals who are just living their lives?
I don't know.
You don't know?
To think about it.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Well, I gotta go because.
Sorry, David. He's gonna go anyway, so
Yeah,
I didn't
no
open that
worries.
up, and
Yeah.
it kind of seemed like he'd checked out of the conversation anyway.
Yeah, I didn't really want to answer your questions.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep going through. Next we have OD.
Hey,
Hello.
I'm a vegan. I've been a vegan for 40 years, or for
How are
20
you?
years. I'm 43 years old. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
I just was. He had said the thing about being in the forest and whatnot, and all the plants and things being poisonous. And I'm a vegan foraging instructor, so I was
Wow,
just gonna
sick.
kind of be like, well, actually,
Yeah, no, I mean,
but yeah.
he made a claim that like most things in the forest are poisonous, which I would question that anyway, but I thought, what's the point? Because that's not the situation we're in anyway. So it's kind of pointless, right?
Yeah. Also, Jem, if you don't know,
very
OD, sorry, an amazing, incredible activist. So I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah, you seem
thanks.
familiar. I don't know if it's because I've seen you on anyone else's live, or if I've seen your name or something.
I mostly pop up on other people's lives. I don't usually do my own that often,
Okay.
unless like I'm bored and I'm making some food. So like I'll sometimes do lives then, but my own. But yeah, yeah. There's a claim that a lot of people who eat animal products make that because plants produce certain chemicals to fight off insects, that means that they're poisonous to us. But generally, those chemicals that they produce, we actually call those phytonutrients, and because they actually are beneficial to our diets, and they actually they feed. They're prebiotic, which means they feed the bacteria in our stomachs. And so, like a Granny Smith apple, that astringent flavor to it keeps bugs away and makes it less likely to be eaten than a golden delicious apple. But for humans, it's you know, Granny Smith is the type of apple that keeps the doctor away. Because of those phytonutrients.
Right, yeah. I sometimes get non-vegans saying to me that because plants sometimes release like these defense mechanisms or chemicals or whatever, like an onion, like they obviously give you a reaction sometimes, it means that they don't want to be eaten. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, if a plant produces a fruit, it means that it wants that to be eaten or spread or anything like that, because the whole purpose of producing the sugar, etc., inside of that fruit is so that an animal will come along and carry it away. Now, of course, plants aren't making that decision themselves, because plants do not have the ability to think, but that has it has occurred through evolution that the plants that have the more delicious fruit are going to get more spread. And if we're talking about the vegetation, I mean, most vegetation is totally fine. The only real chemicals that we ever come across in vegetation, most often, is going to be latex and oxalic acid. And oxalic acid is fine in small doses. Obviously, you don't want to of rhubarb, because rhubarb leaves contain way too much oxalic acid, but the leaves of spinach have exactly the right amount of oxalic acid for us. Um, and then the latex, latex heavy plants are called bitters, and they actually help with our digestion. In if you get such latex, uh, yeah, like latex in a uh, uh, weed, way too much latex. If you eat the stem, or if you eat the digestion, and lettuces are high in latex.
Is the
Um,
sound bad just for me?
no. I was gonna say you're kind of cutting in and out there a little bit, OD. But yeah, I was just gonna ask,
Okay.
did you want to say anything else in like specifically, or did you want to just like hang out there, or I mean, you're welcome to just mute
Uh,
yourself, and if you did want to make any other comments or points or anything, then you're welcome to join in with conversations, or you're welcome to drop down as well.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a little bit and then I'll suddenly drop out because I'm just taking a break at work at the moment. So, but
Okay.
yeah, I mean, and if anybody has questions about farming, etc., I that's my background. I work in the green industry. So I'm
Cool.
currently an arborist. I've previously worked on a farm.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. So we got a nutritionist, we've got a farmer, we've got an ex-slaughterhouse inspector, and then we got me. I don't have like a specialist subject, but yeah, here we go. Let's carry on.
Outreach specialist.
Outreach specialist. KW secret account.
Oh my goodness, this is the first time someone's let me up. Thank you.
That's all
Wow.
right. Are you over 18?
Yeah. Awesome. So, yeah, I was vegan for like about 3 years. And
Oh,
then
wait.
I,
Sorry. Sorry.
huh?
Did you say you were over 18?
Oh, yes. I'm
Okay.
23 years old.
All
Yes.
right, awesome. Before we get into it, can you just explain what your understanding is of veganism, just so we know we're both on the same page?
Yeah, of course. Veganism, it's basically just more than like the diet where you're not eating any animal products, but it's also your lifestyle. You're not consuming any animal products like wool or anything like that. You are an animal activist, basically.
Okay, so avoiding all animal products.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that it's more like avoiding their exploitation, because there are some forms of exploitation that doesn't come in product form. So, like for
Oh,
example,
yeah, like horse riding.
yeah, or like going to the zoo or going to a
Hmm.
circus with animals, things like that. So, yeah, just the principle that we should live without exploiting other animals. Um, so, do you think that we should respect other animals?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. So I'm no longer like diet wise vegan, but I still try to maintain as much of that lifestyle as much as I can. I
Okay.
had a medical problem that couldn't allow me to keep being vegan. So that's basically why I'm not anymore.
Yeah. Do you mind, like, if you're comfortable, like sharing, what that is or anything more about that?
So, on top of it, I also have struggles with eating disorders, and I
Hmm.
was vegan for about 3 years straight. At some point, like my eating disorder started to take over, and I was just heavily restricting, and it was starting to get very unhealthy. Like,
Okay.
so it got to a point where I ended up in a doctor's office, and like my kidneys were showing signs of beginning to shut down. So they're like, you've got to make a change, or you're gonna lose your life, basically.
Yeah. So, was it like, I mean, you'll have to forgive my ignorance, because I'm not like massively familiar with eating disorders, like if there's certain types or things like that. But I have spoken to people who have had ARFID.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know if it was like similar to that, or if it's like a different thing. If it's like a mental or physical.
Yeah, it was like ARFID that kind of quickly devolved into anorexia as well.
Okay. And ARFID is when like you have like sensory like issues with like eating like certain things that
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of like sensory issues and like just kind of like you're getting like these massive panic attacks when you're eating too.
Okay. All right. So I've just got a couple of questions. Um, so can I ask, so if you could be vegan, if you found today that you could go back to adopting a plant-based diet and you could be healthy and you could thrive on that, do you think that that is then the moral like imperative, like you should morally do that?
Yes, yeah, I do believe so because there's just a lot of problems with like farming in general. And a lot of people will say, well, what about the small local farms? And they have a
Hmm.
lot of their issues too. And they also aren't like always like FDA inspected. So you don't even know what you're getting yourself there too.
Sure. So you think that, so just to clarify, you would agree that anybody who doesn't have that issue and who can adopt a plant-based diet and be healthy should then do so. Like they have a
Yeah,
moral obligation to do so. Okay.
yeah. If you can like absolutely go and be vegan without it harming your body, if you're able to go and be vegan without it harming your budget, which I can get into that. It's cheaper for me to not buy meat than it is
Mhm.
to buy meat. So I don't get people saying that's too expensive for them. But
Okay.
if you can be vegan, go be vegan. Like, what are you doing?
Okay. So and from your knowledge, there's nothing that you can do to overcome your current like health issues. Like,
I've come very far, and with how far I've come, I basically am very like vegetarian now these days. There's some days where I do have like I'm having to supplement more with like meat and whatnot. And it's just because like I am still living with like a huge lack in my body basically. I'm still living with a bunch of effects of malnutrition. So
okay.
trying to
I'm
get my
sorry.
levels up with just plants isn't working too well for me when I
Uh,
try.
is it safe to assume that you might not be eating enough? Because that's how it sounds like to me.
No, I definitely eat till like my stomach hurts. I have a
But
very fast metabolism.
Sorry,
So it's
sorry.
like,
When I mean enough, I don't mean because for example, if I eat a watermelon, my stomach will hurt. It will feel full, but it won't be
right,
enough, right? I
right.
mean enough calories. Do you think that there's a possibility that you may not be eating enough calories?
Um, I mean, these days, I can't really get up to the 2,000 calorie anymore without it like
Yeah.
hurting. But
But
for the
have you
most part,
tried
I'm
like
eating what's like getting me sustained through the day.
have you
When
tried
I
like
was vegan,
caloric rich foods? Like peanut butter, like nuts, seeds. All of these are very high in calories, and
so I
you can
wasn't, I'm
quickly
not,
fill up the nutrition, and they don't also occupy a lot of space.
so my tonsillectomy got botched. I can't have peanut butter still, or like I can do nuts, but like the peanut butters and whatnot,
Sure,
no.
but nuts, whatever nuts you
Yeah.
want, right? Like it doesn't have to be a particular nut, but nuts are generally have a higher concentration of fats, which generally have more calories. So, for example, 100 grams of nuts is maybe one or two fistfuls, and they're like
Mhm.
650 calories. They're like a third of what you need per day.
Yeah, maybe I should start like looking into that again. I've just been like mostly like, well, I'm just gonna like go back to eating my old ways, and that's also not doing me well right now.
Yeah, and also like you see, the problem is the thing that I generally like is it what is it that because RFID, as far as I know, it's very specific to each person. So
Hmm.
I'm curious, like, what was it for you specifically that you couldn't that you needed a certain like in general, RFID restricts more than it uh
Right.
right like what was it from, like was it just that you weren't getting enough calories on a plant-based diet and therefore you started consuming animal products, or was it something on a plant-based diet that you just couldn't tolerate, or what was it?
I think I think after a while it was all like the plant-based diets. Like all my meals were just kind of looking the same. Like yeah, I'd have some variety, but there was kind of a schedule there to what I was eating, and my body in a way was growing so sick of it, and it just
Isn't
started
that the
like
same today?
rejecting it, like pastas. Um, yeah, there's certainly a lot of foods I still struggle with eating today. It's kind of like, yeah, a lot of times, like I can't even sit through a pasta dish anymore, even though it's one of my favorites. It's,
But
yeah,
have
I
you
kind of,
considered like every week just switching it up, every 2 weeks or something, switching the
that's
recipes up and trying something else? Is it a matter of texture for you, or is it a matter of taste?
a lot of it is like very much like texture. Like if
Texture
it's
based,
too
yeah.
mushy, yeah, if it's too mushy, I start like, yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Have you thought about like texture, just trying the plant-based meats or like soy chunks? Because they resemble
Um,
meat almost
yeah,
identically.
yeah, I used to cook those up all the time for myself. I loved like Morningstar. Their sausage patties were like my absolute favorite. I made a killer chili recipe with it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you see, the thing about it is that if variety is your issue, you can obviously get variety on a plant-based diet. It's not like animal products provide a particular lot of variety. There's just three types of meats that we eat, right? And then you could say maybe some dairy products, but also there's more variety in plant-based products that replace the dairy products, because you could have soy yogurt, you could have coconut yogurt, you could have almond yogurt, like you could have all types of these. But since you have a problem with texture, I don't think you probably eat those. Um, so I'm just like wondering, is it like if you were to try something like, I don't know if you ever heard of Challenge 22 or Animal Justice 21. These are websites where they can help you with this for free.
Mm-hmm.
And all you have to do is just put your name and your email, because they're just activists there who really want to help you in these situations. And a lot of the times they say they don't work with eating disorders, but I feel like RFID is something a little bit different, especially if you are actually willing to try and be plant-based.
Right. And well, like I don't that's also crazy because like I've heard a lot of success stories of people who have come out of like anorexia and bulimia and they became vegan and like had so like they went so far with their recovery.
Yeah. There's a lot of success stories. I think there's somebody on YouTube right now who was telling
Oh
me
yeah,
that they're.
Freely the banana girl.
I don't know. I don't know about her. Like, I don't think a lot of us
I don't.
consider her necessarily vegan, but
I
there's a
Oh,
lot
wouldn't
of.
consider her a success story.
Yeah.
I I don't. I
There's a
didn't
person
follow
on
her
YouTube
well.
who on Jem's YouTube right now in the chat who had a child with ARFID, and they managed to uh, adopt a plant-based diet successfully. So there definitely is a possibility for that if you're willing to try. But you since ARFID, I'm assuming, is a difficult thing for you, regardless if you're plant-based or not. So you just have to keep a little bit of an eye on you.
Yeah.
Oh, see, Willow is also here, by the way. Willow is the one. You see, he's here in the chat also. He said, "I'm here. I can join if they want to speak to me." He's got a child with ARFID.
Mhm. For me, I've come a very far way with my ARFID, so it's like I'm able to eat a lot more now. It's just like I don't know how to describe it. It's like when there's a surprise mushy texture. That's where I'm like, ah, so to say. But no, like I have been wanting to like go back into like veganism, eating healthier again, but it's just very much like what can my body handle getting back into that when I'm also not eating enough calories and just sort of
No,
things like that.
no, yeah, I can understand that. I just feel like all of this is resolvable, right? And I think we should do our very best because while whatever difficulty we're having, the reality of what animals are going through is monumentally worse either way. So, um, I would say even anorexia is way better than death to me. By the way, I don't want you to be in that position. I'm just saying, like, we should like weigh the scales, and we should try our very best. And I hate to say this, and maybe a lot of people would hate me for that, but if anybody ever does need to eat animal products for their whatever medical condition that they have, I feel like you don't need to go and eat chickens, cows, or anything like that. There's animals that we're not sure of their sentience yet, and stuff like that, right? Like I would always treat it as I would always try to be as, how should I put this, as accurate as possible to try to avoid any form of exploitation towards sentient beings. And if I
Right.
ever absolutely have to, I'll just go down the line of beings that are not sentient or are most likely not sentient first. And like yeah. And by the way, as Willow mentions it also, ARFID doesn't disappear when you stop being vegan. So you should
Yeah.
still struggle with the same thing, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, would you be willing to try and make it work?
I think, yeah, I would be willing to try again because I'm definitely at a healthier point with my body to where it's like if I start realizing, hey, there's a lot of these problems and it's starting to really hurt me again, I'm able to like sort of bounce out in a way. I don't know. I'm not trying to say just like bounce out, but like
Yeah,
I just got to be pretty careful with what I do diet wise these days.
from what I'm hearing, it sounds like there are kind of two things that you need to do. One is, identify foods that work for you,
Hmm.
and kind of keep a list of them, maybe foods that work for you that you can that you can use as you switch back to a plant-based diet. And then the other is secure some kind of a routine that can help you stay, in habit without getting, bored, or, without your body rejecting things like you said, mentioned earlier. So it's about getting something that keeps you on habit, uh,
Hmm.
as well as, finding your stable of foods.
By the way, Willow, who's here in the chat, he said he's willing to help you out to have a conversation. So if you add him or send him a friend request or something on TikTok, he'll gladly help talk to you about the transition he had, and he can help you out with more tips and tricks, I guess. She. Sorry,
Oh.
I'm sorry, Willow. She. I'm so sorry. I said he. I'm sorry. She. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know if I have anything more to like add to the conversation, but like again, thank you all for being really kind and respectful too.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I appreciate you coming on up and acknowledging that, you know, obviously it sucks that you have certain issues, but acknowledging that they don't have to be a barrier to, you know, living in alignment with your morals. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll be back next week, so you know you and the week after I do lives every week, so you're welcome to come back at a later point and let us know how you got on and you know what your current situation is. But obviously, I feel like you probably know most things already, like in terms of like animal exploitation, and you know you've probably seen Dominion and stuff. But yeah, maybe the only other piece of advice I would say is maybe watch that again, because I think that a lot of the times, even if you've already seen it, does give you the motivation to, you know, want to succeed in what you're doing, you know.
Hmm.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
thank
Well,
you so much.
thank you. We're gonna move on, but appreciate you
All
coming.
right.
All right, awesome. So next we have Zilla Boss.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I've been waiting. I've just been listening for like since
Okay.
a minute ago. But
Sorry, can I just
if you have any
ask if
questions,
you're over 18 first of all?
yeah, I am actually. I'm 18. Was born in
Awesome.
January
Yeah.
2008.
Okay. So can I just check what your understanding is of veganism first of all?
Yeah, I
Sorry,
mean,
your background is very noisy.
yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm sorry. I'm like cooking and doing a whole bunch of stuff at the same time. I think veganism is more or less just like the respect for animals.
Yeah, it's
Like, I was listening earlier and you said something about like the morality or I don't know. That was about the time my phone died.
yeah, it is respecting animals, so
Yeah.
it's considering their interests. Um, so, but the main kind of the word that I would use is avoiding their exploitation. So exploitation is
Yeah.
the main
And
thing.
that's what
So
I. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna sort of wrap that up. So not using them in a way that goes against their interests would be.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I don't like a lot of the animal farms,
Mm-hmm.
like the butcheries and stuff, the slaughterhouses. I don't like none of that. You know,
Okay.
I'm
So
not vegan myself, but I have a lot of respect for animals, and if I see one, I'm not gonna be. Like I like pigs, I like sheep, I like ducks, all the animals. I have a very loving passion for. Like I love all of the animals on Earth, but
mhm.
at the same time, I also like I'm the exact opposite of a vegan. I love to eat meat. It's more of just a preference for me, but like I want to know, I want to try like everything. But I wouldn't go to like some place and order like shark fin soup and like
Wait,
I feel like you
Why
have to
not?
more or less deserve it and like hunt it.
can I make an observation, Zilla? You said you're the opposite of vegan, and you said that
Yeah.
veganism means respecting animals, so you don't
No,
respect animals,
no,
because
no, not
that's the
like that. Not
opposite
like
of
that. Not like
veganism.
that. No, not like that. Like I respect animals. I have a very intense curiosity to try and like eat. I like to eat. You know,
So
I'm eating right now,
my my
but
feeling is that that doesn't, wanting to try all the different things doesn't preclude you from being a vegan. What does is realizing that it's wow, that is a loud background.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
dude,
Are
it's
you
my
able?
phone. I'm so sorry. I'm not. I don't even have like an iPhone or a Samsung. It's like
Maybe
some
you can
random like
mute.
Chinese
Maybe you
one.
can mute while you're not talking. Then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
yeah, but basically, I mean, I would say tons of vegans like the taste of meat, but we we have come to the conclusion that it is not worth it. It's not worth it to harm the animals, or the other part of it, which is to disconnect from our love of animals for the eating of the animals. Like we are, when you make that choice to eat the animals, when you say that you love and respect them, what is happening is that you are making a big severance in your thought pattern. In in psychology, it's usually called dissociation. So you are separating your experience and the reality of your situation from each other. Which, I mean, if we're being real, then the reality of the situation and our experience of it should be one and the same. So
Can I
I
ask
see
a
your
bit?
point.
So, do you think
Go
that
ahead.
there's a contradiction there? Because you said that you respect animals and you love animals, but do you think that it can actually be respectful and loving to exploit them? So to use them against their interests?
Yeah. No, see, that's what I don't like. I don't like the exploiting, like
Yeah.
like I was saying, the animal farms. I don't like any of that. Like I feel like instead of a more easily and accessible, you know, products like meat. Like if I love vegetables, I love all foods. Like I'll just sit there and eat a plate of greens, but it's more like I feel like we are not deserving of the meat, and like we all need to eat meat. Maybe some more or less than others, or
No, we
some
don't.
more than others.
No,
It's
we
more
don't.
just
We
a
don't need to
balance
eat
in
meat.
the body,
Sorry.
and I feel like I'm
Well, how
sorry, I
long's
went
your
blank. Like
monologue gonna go on
I had a
for?
whole conversation in my head that I was gonna
Yeah, it
try and
seems like
play
you're
out,
just
and
monologuing. We're here to have a conversation with people that are
yeah,
open-minded,
yeah. I
rather
get
than just
nervous and I
trying to
just start
find.
ranting. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So if Jem could ask her questions, if you could just pay
Hmm.
attention, and maybe we'll get to some sort of conclusion.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
So you say that we should respect other animals, correct?
Yes, I believe in respecting the animals
And is it
100%.
really respectful to exploit them, to use them for their bodies against their interests, regardless of how it's done?
How you keep saying exploiting, and I'm not quite getting it.
So exploiting, using them against their
Hmm.
interests. So using them for their body, for their skin, for their flesh, for their reproductive system.
Yeah. Okay.
Using them for your pleasure, for entertainment. So that's what exploitation is. It's to use somebody against their interests for your own selfish purposes.
Mm.
So can you really respect them and exploit them at the same time?
Mm. No, no, I would
No.
say no. Honestly,
Okay.
I
So
feel there is a fine line between exploiting and you know being able to eat them from like a hunt. Because that's my whole point. I feel like if you are to eat meat or if you are to indulge, I feel like you would have to earn it. Like there's a lot
We're talking
more.
about necessity, though.
yeah,
Necessity.
so hunting an animal would still be exploitation because you're using them, whether you're hunting them for fun, it's like for an activity. So you would
Okay.
be using them for a source of entertainment, or if you're going to eat them, you would still be using their body to eat them when you don't need to. So
I don't like
it's
hunting
still
for fun. I only hunt to eat.
yeah, but the like David's just said, you can get every nutrient that you need without doing that to somebody, which makes it
Yes.
exploitation, right?
Yes, for sure, of course. And
So if
I
you
get that.
yeah, so if you agree that we should respect other animals and that it's not respectful to exploit them, do you feel that there's anything preventing you from being vegan and living in alignment with your morals?
Yeah, I start getting sick if I eat too much greens.
Too much what, sorry?
Like
Greens or grains?
greens, just like vegetation. like
get
fruits
sick.
or vegetable. Like if I eat too much of it, like and not enough meat, my body
Dude,
will.
can you stop trolling? What do you mean? This is nonsense. Why are you trolling right now?
I'm
Yeah, I don't
not.
get this. I don't get
Like
this.
I'll get.
nobody's telling you just eat plant-based burgers, just eat plant-based
I don't like
pizza.
plant-based burgers. I
Just
think it's a
stop
ploy.
oppressing, just stop oppressing animals. I
How
don't
is it
really
oppressing
not
animals?
well, you are exploiting them. That's oppression. That's cruel and unjust treatment towards them. That's the definition of
So,
oppression.
can I run a hypothetical past you?
Sure.
You have dogs, bro. Like, imagine if it was done
Yeah,
to your dogs, man. Like,
I
it's
would
not
love to
that
try
hard of a
dog. I just wouldn't
stretch.
want it to be,
You
you know
have
what I mean,
dogs barking in the
inhumanely
background,
slaughtered.
dude. You would eat
Yeah,
them?
this one. Not this one. This one's gross.
I think this person is, I don't think you're being
Yeah.
I'm
genuine,
not trolling.
Zilla.
I swear to God,
No, but
I'm
you're
not
also not being
trolling.
genuine, are you? Like, you can't
I'm.
tell me that you get sick
So
from eating vegetables. You don't eat
I
fries with your
am.
whatever it is that you eat. You don't put vegetables on whatever it is that you eat. You're not eating fruits. Okay, sure, you can
I
eat
am
whatever
eating
you
fruits. I
want.
eat
And by
fruits
the
and
way,
vegetables
Zila, this
nearly
isn't
all the
about
time.
food. You can put in your mouth whatever we want. We're pretty clear here that this is about animal rights. Can you just for once stop thinking about yourself and start thinking about the
Um,
innocent victims that you're creating? Do you think you can do that for a second? Can you
what
can you
innocent
can
victim?
you use
Why are
can you
you getting
use
mad
that
and yelling? Why are you
can
getting
you
mad and
use
yelling?
I'm not
The
yelling.
whole time
Can
I've
you
been
use
friendly.
that? Sure.
so
Can you use that higher intelligence that you think you have and
I never
put
said that.
aside
I'm actually
put
not the
aside
brightest
your
bulb. I just
sure.
feel like, can
Sure.
you let me speak, man? You've been just
Sure, but I
ranting
was
on for a
thinking.
minute, just talking
I didn't
shit.
finish what I was saying. So
Go ahead.
please for a second, put aside thinking about food, what you put in your mouth, whatever you want to think about, and think for 1 second about the injustice that you are causing right now.
The
Okay,
injustice.
because yeah, animals who have emotions, who feel, who have a subjective
Wild
experience of
animals.
life, you are putting them through slaughterhouses, abuse, exploitation. Do you
See,
really want to be
so
the
if
type
you
of
were listening
person
to
who
what I
says
was
it's
saying,
okay to
I already told
exploit
you I don't
innocent
like
animals
slaughterhouses. I
for something
don't
that you don't need?
agree with them.
Okay,
I
you'll
feel it's
just keep talking
wasteful to
over.
let you're talking over me, man.
I wasn't finished
You
when you
were.
started talking.
I wasn't finished when you started talking. Is that
Oh,
respectful?
brother, what a
Is that
child.
kind?
You've
I'm
been
not.
able
So,
to
I'm not.
monologue
Zilla,
this
I'm
entire
trying to have
time,
a
Zilla.
real conversation here,
No,
okay,
but
and none of
you
y'all are
agreed, Zilla, you
being
agreed that
let's
nice.
you were able
everybody
to
step back.
monologue this entire time, and we gave you plenty
Yes,
of
and I
time to
agreed
talk.
with you that
So
I get
Chip was
nervous
just
and I
trying to
go
go
off.
through something with you, right? He was just trying to ask you to be a decent person and respect animals, and you said you do respect them, but then you go back to this idea that you have to exploit them when you know very well that you don't have to.
Okay, but I do have
No,
to.
you don't.
Okay, but I do.
No, you
Like
don't.
you're not getting it. You're not listening to my
I'm not
point.
getting it. I worked in
You're not.
slaughterhouses, bro. I
So
changed,
you've
okay?
worked in
I was able to
slaughterhouses.
do it. And I worked in slaughterhouses
You worked
for
in
15 and
slaughterhouses.
yeah, I worked as an inspector for 15 and a half years. And 12 years ago I made the change because it's fucking horrific what we do to animals. And you're
Yes,
sitting
it
here,
is. That's what if
yeah,
y'all are not
yeah,
hearing me, I say
yeah.
I do
And you're
not
gonna
like
say you're gonna go
slaughterhouses.
hunt
I
an
do not
innocent
respect
animal
them.
in the wild?
Yes,
Why?
100%. Let's
You don't
say
have
I am
to.
hungry. Let's go back on that other dude's
You
topic.
don't
Let's
have
say I am
to.
hungry and in the woods, and
No, you
I
don't
do
have
not
to.
know
In
how
the
to
woods?
forage
In the woods? You're
vegetables
on
or any of
TikTok,
that. Let me
dude. You
speak.
have
Let
access to
me
a grocery
speak. Let
store.
me speak.
Let me speak. Go
Let's
ahead.
say hypothetically, right? Let me run a hypothetical past you.
No,
I
not
am in the woods.
hypothetical.
I'm
You're not in the
lost and I'm
woods, dude. When have
scared.
you ever been in the
Wait,
woods?
wait, wait, wait.
Literally,
I
what are
wanna
y'all
hear this
talking about?
hypothetical because you know what? If you're in the woods and there's no toilets, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna shit on the
Shit in the
floor?
woods. I'm shitting in the woods.
Okay,
I've shit in the
okay.
woods before. Like,
So you're gonna shit on the floor. Does that mean you
yes,
can shit in your house on the floor?
you can.
Does that mean
That's
it's
the
the
whole point about being conscious and having a free will. You can do whatever
Why do
you
okay?
you
want.
shit
There's
in
Okay.
just
your house, bro?
consequences to your actions. If I were to
So do
shit on the
you?
floor in my house, I'd have to clean it up.
Jesus Christ, bro! This brother
Like,
doesn't
well,
get it at all.
I don't know what that fucking was supposed to
Okay,
prove.
Yeah, I'm done.
so let's step
um,
I
back
don't.
to it.
Zilla,
I
can I ask a hypothetical question?
Yes.
So let's say you went to bed tonight, and in the night you got bit by an insect, a bug, and that bug meant that you couldn't physically digest any animal products ever again. You were literally allergic to all meat, any animal secretions. You were allergic to their exploitation. what do you think would happen to you? Do you think that you could find a way to survive and to thrive and to live, or what do you think would happen to you?
I think I would get sick and die.
You think you would get sick and you would die? Okay.
Yeah, this is
Eventually, down the road.
disingenuous. It's pointless.
Down
It's
the road.
pointless.
Okay.
He's being disingenuous.
I will never eat the impossible beef or the impossible meat.
boo.
You know what?
Because
Zilla, I'm gonna move on. Zilla, I'm
I'd
gonna
much
move
rather
on.
just eat plants than eat
Okay.
something synthetic or.
Here, let me sit with you for. Okay, I was gonna
I'll
sit
be-
with him for a quick second here, which is just to say, if you sit down and you look at what you believe and you look at how you act, and you need to sit down and determine what lines up with what, because the truth is, words that do not match your actions are unimportant. If your actions don't match your belief system, then there is a break and you need to fix that break. And you may need to go to therapy if you can't see that on your own.
Yeah, so I kicked Zilla because I think he was being disingenuous. I mean, maybe I could have asked based on what would he believe that he would be sick and die, because whether it's like his feelings or whether I don't know. But I just want to say that it's amazing how we have scientific data that says that we can be healthy and that we can thrive as vegans on a plant-based diet, and that we're all doing it absolutely fine. We're not getting sick and we're not dying. So it is possible, and we all have the same body parts, apart from obviously I don't have like male parts, but yeah, we all have the same digestive organs and stuff.
I just wanted to address Rob in the comments here really quick, because he keeps bringing up 7.3 billion animals each year. In order to eat veggies is okay as long as we don't eat the animals. So what you are talking about is you're talking about conventional farming practices, and guess what? That actually ends up being my wheelhouse. I am trained as a pesticide manager and a pest manager in general. And you know what? Pesticide usage is actually much higher on plants that are intended for animal consumption than they are for human consumption. So that actually means that more of those are coming from the farms that are growing food for animals. Also, when you eat animals, that means that they have to eat something as well. So you're actually paying for more of those, more of that conventional farming to happen. And when it comes to who is trying to stop crop deaths from happening, guess who's at the forefront? It is vegans. We are the ones who have been out here trying to pioneer different processes. I actually lived on a veganic permaculture farm where we were able to actually integrate pest management directly into our fields without harming the animals at all. It was really a matter of selecting the proper crops, proper crop placement, putting crops next to each other that are more likely to get the specific pests to go away rather than dealing with pesticides. So yeah, we are working with the imperfect system that we currently have as best as we can, but we are also the ones trying to change that system.
Awesome. Right, so I'm gonna get the next guest. We have, yes, I'm Grant. Or I'm gonna just call you Grant when it loads. Hey Grant, are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What's your understanding of veganism, first of all?
Not very clear.
But what do you? It doesn't have to be clear. Like, what's your from your perspective? What do you think veganism is?
Not eating any animals or any products that they're taken from them or
Yeah,
made
so
from them.
that would be a consequence of being vegan. Or their fur or feathers, or use them for entertainment or for testing or labor or anything like that. So, do you agree that we should respect other animals?
I do, yeah.
Okay. And do you think that it's possible to respect them and exploit them at the same time?
No.
Okay. So, based on the fact that you do think we should respect them and that it's not possible to respect them and exploit them, do you feel there's anything preventing you from being vegan and living in alignment with your morals?
Yeah, just because I don't think it would have like an effect with how big the industry is.
Are you familiar with how supply and demand works?
Yes.
Okay. So if you are familiar with how supply and demand works, then you have to acknowledge that it would have an effect, because you literally wouldn't be demanding that animals are exploited on your behalf. And obviously that's going to have an effect on them, right?
But I mean, if I like being the industry so big, if I stopped, it wouldn't actually affect like the production though.
Yeah, it would. It would reduce the amount of individuals who are being exploited on your behalf.
But like, what does that mean by on my behalf?
It means that you're not demanding that animals are bred into existence to be exploited for you.
But on my behalf, I mean, like, it's because of me or?
Yeah, exactly. So when you create a demand, that's happening because of you.
Yeah, but like, that's what I mean. If I'm just one number among tens of millions, then, or hundreds of millions.
Okay, so I could say that I'm just one person, that, and whether I stop being racist or not isn't going to have a huge impact. But obviously, it will
Well,
have
no,
an
that's not
impact.
that. That's
Wait,
different.
sorry,
'Cause then
Grant, I'm not finished.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go
Obviously,
ahead.
it's going to have an impact on the person that I'm being racist towards or not, because you've got to understand that there are individuals at the end of your choices. You're looking at a big picture, that it's one big industry, right? And obviously, you can't do anything to stop the whole industry. But you've got to think that within that industry, there are billions of individuals, and some of those individuals are your victims, and you're putting them in that situation, and you can choose to opt out of that and to not put them some information, to not, sorry, the comments are coming through, and to not put them in that situation. You understand that?
Yeah, I understand. Like the racist example, it's just a little bit different because, you know, that person wouldn't have been called that by me. So it's an additional, like, say I call them a racist term or something. That's me actually adding to, you know, the wrong, like it's a direct effect in reality. Whereas, like, you know, if I'm just I understand how supply and demand works. You know, they allow access even above like the numbers they look at on the screen in the data. So I mean, everything would happen at the same exact time. You know, the animals would, like the same animal that I would have, you know, went towards being turned into, you know, food would have been at the same exact moment regardless. And I'm not trying to be naive.
No.
Like this is why I like this actually is why I haven't been able to convince myself. Like
Yeah, but the thing is, you do have a direct effect on certain individuals, and yet just because there's an individual who's currently chopped up in pieces in the grocery store and you can't change the outcome for that one, doesn't mean that you can't change change what another individual is going to experience.
Yeah, I understand that. I thought of that as well, but when I looked into it, it would be to have an effect that actually leads to decisions being made to have any impact at all. it would have to be actually almost millions, but being more reasonable, hundreds of thousands of people making the decision to go vegan as well. And I just don't. I'm not gonna be able. I'm not gonna bet on the
I don't
fact that
know.
I'm gonna make that
Listen,
effect.
Grant, it seems like a very defeatist attitude, and if everybody had this attitude that you had, we would literally never accomplish anything. We would still be enslaving human beings if everyone had this attitude. Oh, everyone
Yeah, I
else is
agree with
doing it,
that.
so I'm not going to do it. What a poor attitude to have. Is
Wait,
that
can I ask you a question? Yes. Do you think that you're not responsible for at least one animal per year being exploited for you?
Not where the system is and how it operates in
So
real
for
scale.
example, if you eat chicken wings and you eat two chicken wings, is that not, those two do not belong to one individual?
Yeah, they do, but that's
Okay,
just
so
not
if you eat
how.
multiple and if you calculate that over the year, can you seriously disagree that at least one animal per year is exploited to death for you? Would you seriously disagree with that? Like, are you?
No, I would disagree because that's the equivalent of saying when I buy an iPhone, it wouldn't have
Nah,
been made if I didn't
you're
buy
just
it.
being extremely disingenuous, because I can make the claim simply. I live in Amsterdam. Do you think that if everyone in Amsterdam wouldn't consume animal products, they would still produce animal products here?
Not the local companies. No, they wouldn't.
Okay, perfect. And if they kill around 1 million chickens in Amsterdam, well, I think they kill maybe like 10 million chickens per year, and there's 1 million people in Amsterdam. There's less, but let's assume that there's 1 million. Doesn't that mean that would roughly range around 10 chickens per person?
I don't know the math, but you're right what you're saying. But I don't
Yeah.
live in
Okay.
Amsterdam. The
So if
reason you can't
no,
use
no,
the
no, let me
numbers of
finish. Let me finish. Let me
yeah,
finish.
sure.
So this is in my city, right? I don't know the sanctity of these numbers. So that means
Yeah,
that 10 animals per person per year. So that means that if one person would adopt a plant-based diet, the likelihood is that at least one and somewhere around 10 animals per year are exploited for them. Not animals, I said chickens, correct?
sure.
Okay. So now we know that worldwide, somewhere around 2 to 3 trillion animals are exploited every single year. There's 8 billion people on this planet. If you divide that, how many animals is that for you?
I don't know, but I mean it's
Around 200 to 300 animals for you. So if on average there's around 200 or 300 animals per year, specifically for you, based on the numbers of how many animals we exploit and slaughter, isn't it absolutely 100% safe to assume that at least one animal is specifically exploited for you? I'm not even asking for more. And if you're saying that that is not true, then you would just be extremely disingenuous.
sure. Yeah. Well, can I ask? So
Well,
say
no. Let's
you would
before we go on. Do you agree
yeah.
that at least one animal is exploited to death for you?
One animal? Well, I mean, I want to talk to you
At
and have a
least
better
one.
understanding of that. Because this is the thing with if I
So
agree with
if on
that,
average, if on average 100 to 300 animals per year per person are exploited, that's the average. Doesn't that mean that you alone are responsible for at least one animal per year?
possibly, but based off how you frame that.
No,
But
this is like about being honest, dude.
Yeah.
We're here
It's
to have
clear
a
that you're.
genuine conversation. Like you're not hitting a bullet or anything. We're just trying to have decent
no, I
conversations with
understand that.
people.
I'm not like I said, I'm not trying to be nice. I'm not going to just disagree just to just disagree everything that what you're saying. That's why I'm saying possibly based
Yeah,
off
no,
how
not
you framed it.
possibly,
But in that
probably,
case, you would agree that the
probably.
companies make the
Wait,
decision.
1 second, 1 second. We're not
Sure.
done. So if at least one animal is exploited to death for you, then why on earth wouldn't you make the choice that does not exploit one animal per year for you? At least one. If the likelihood of you making this choice could mean between 1 and 100 and maybe 300 animals per year being saved, you may not know their name, you may not know who they are, but you know that they won't be exploited because you make this choice. Wouldn't it be the absolute right choice to not put them in this position? Wouldn't you feel like, hey, I'm in this position where something that I'm doing, I can easily do something else, enjoy my life, live my life exactly the same, and still not exploit these animals? Like, why on earth would you make the choice knowing that when you make this choice, the likelihood is that you will be exploiting 100 animals per year, and definitely at least one. Like, how much do you care, or do you think that these animals don't experience life like you do, don't value their life like you do? Do you seriously not care about anybody else but yourself?
I
Do you
care.
not
I
want to
care
take
about it.
responsibility?
No, I do care about it, and I do take responsibility for
You don't.
my involvement in it, at least seeing it and being aware of it. I care about it, but I haven't been able to find a way to actually change it happening.
What do you
And
mean?
that's
You just pick up. I'm sorry, but when you go to a supermarket, do the animal products automatically forcefully come into your cart? Is there some form of gravity in your cart that attracts only animal products? Is it that much difficult to pick a different product and put it in your cart?
yeah, but so that's just like switching me, because if I don't buy it, someone else is buying it at the store, so it's just someone else
It
eating it. It
doesn't.
doesn't
What do you mean?
change.
If you don't buy it, somebody
Well,
else buys it? How do you think?
well,
Do you think that there's somebody waiting around the corner checking if you buy it, and then, oh no, he didn't buy that. Quickly go and buy it. It doesn't work that way. You understand
so
that?
what I'm actually hearing is, Grant, you're not making a argument against going vegan. You're making an argument against just stopping eating animal products. The argument you're making is that you should go a step further, that you should take action to save and protect the animals, that you should do things like open rescue, and that you should do activism to get yourself out there to help other people, and that you should do food distro of plant-based foods, so that way you are helping assist other people
Yeah,
and not eating
exactly.
animal
Yeah,
products.
and I'm not
So
disagreeing with the vegan
let,
movement either, because I
so
do agree that it collectively has an effect, and that's what
so the
everybody
first
says.
step is
Yeah.
just to stop exploiting the animals yourself. The next step is to take the actions to then stop the larger exploitation of the animals, because you're not making an argument against going vegan. You're making an argument for doing more, taking the next
Yeah, I
steps.
agree with that. I just think it's silly to have the mindset of like supply demand the way a lot of vegan people do, because anytime I mention that, they
Well,
think, oh, so if I didn't buy the iPhone I'm talking to you on right now, they would have that would lead them to then look at it and say we need to make less. No, they
Yeah, they
wouldn't.
do. They do.
Even if I
Actually,
convinced
Apple.
that 1,000
Actually,
people to
you're
stop
false.
buying,
That's false because
it would
Apple
take
has actually
hundreds of
dropped production.
thousands to impact the numbers for
Nope,
them to be able to make.
that's actually false because Apple has dropped production, and all you're saying is this appeal to
It's not
to
false.
futility. And as I've just explained to you, even if you don't believe any of it to be true, even if you think it needs massive
Well, it's not
numbers,
a
you
belief
cannot
thing, it's
argue.
fact.
No.
it's not a
Even
fact.
no, it's not, because even with sheer numbers alone, you are responsible for at least one animal to be
But that's
exploited.
not sheer numbers. The reason you had to start that analogy you made with a
There wasn't
village
an analogy.
of a certain amount of people, that's a lower number, and then just use simple multiplication is because you look, when you say it out loud with the big numbers, it doesn't make any sense.
So
Like
300
when there's
animals per
hundreds of
year on
millions of
average.
supply
so
being done, for you
I
to
again,
think he's
think
disingenuous.
one
okay.
person
So
affects them, and they go and say, "Oh, look, we lost one out
do,
of 100 million.
do you
Let's
know
make a change."
do you know the difference between being non-racist and being anti-racist?
No, I don't.
Okay, so the first step of being anti-racist is to be non-racist, which means that you are just not part of the racist system itself. Then to be anti-racist is to actually take steps to stop racism from happening. But you first have to be non-racist before you can be anti-racist. So removing the animal exploitation is that first step of being like being non-racist. So you need to you can't continue to exploit the animals while, even if you think your number doesn't count, while you are fighting to stop the exploitation.
Well, I mean,
It's a
technically,
direct
technically you
contradiction.
can. I mean,
No,
like
you
that's
absolutely cannot. It is not possible because you are causing the exploitation to happen by your choices.
well, not really. I mean, it would just be called something else. Like if I'm
Wait,
No,
racist and I
no,
and I
you are
let's end this
denying
fast. Yes,
direct
immigrant.
fact.
Yes, immigrant. Are you willing to change your mind about this? Are you willing to take responsibility, or are we just wasting our time?
No, I mean, I think he made a good point. Like you can you can, keep it in your head to do things that have real world impact. And I agree with that.
Are you
Yeah.
going to be vegan, or are you going to continue searching for excuses?
And it's not, nothing that I said was an excuse.
It is an excuse because you can't
Okay,
fight
so excuses.
exploitation if you are exploiting. It's just not possible. It's like
It
nope,
is
I
possible
can't say that
though.
one on TikTok.
It
Okay.
really,
Yeah,
can
it
I
kind of
just say
seems like this guy's
before
just here to argue and like disagree with everything we say. So I think
Yes.
we should move on. Yeah, I mean we have data. Everyone in their right mind understands how supply and demand works and that they're responsible for animal exploitation if they're demanding it. Yeah, it's just a really weird argument to make because we have the data to back this up and that's how it works. You can't argue against it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that people like that just it seems like he's just got a bit of a like lazy attitude, really. Like he understands that animal exploitation wouldn't happen if nobody demanded it, right? So obviously him not demanding it is obviously going to have an impact. And for nobody to demand it, that takes like collective action, which includes him taking action. So that's why I got annoyed because like there's a lot of people who have like this kind of mindset, oh, everyone else is doing it, so there's no point in me doing it. Like, stand for what you believe. If you want everyone else to follow suit and to stand for the same thing that you believe in, then take action, take a lead and show them the example. Like, set an example for the kind of person, the kind of world that you want to live in. Jesus, like, it's just so lazy. And like, yeah, these kind of people, they seem, I don't know, maybe they just don't care enough or like they're not bothered enough about it to think this way, which I think, go watch Dominion, go and put yourself in the position of the animals and see if you still feel the same way after that. But but yeah, it's just such a shitty, lazy, half-assed attitude, and we would be screwed if everyone thought like that. So anyway, that's my little rant. Who we got? We've got Pumpkid. Hey Pumpkid, are you over 18?
How you guys doing?
I'm good, thank you. Are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good. Can we start by just defining veganism? So what's your understanding of it?
As far as I'm concerned, again, I'm not like super knowledgeable about it, but I mean, veganism means you eat plant products and survive off of a non-meat or animal-based diet. At least as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so that is one consequence of being vegan, but veganism, it stems from the principle that we should live without exploiting other animals. So it extends beyond what we eat. We also wouldn't exploit them for fashion, for entertainment, for testing. So it does go beyond what we eat. So yeah, it's about not using them against their interests for any purpose where we can avoid doing so. Does that make sense?
Okay. No, that makes sense. The only question I have about that is, so I mean, I understand not having to use, the animals' products in the ways you don't redeem with, I find that respectable. Every human could do whatever they choose to do. But would you call it evil? I mean, if there's going to be people that eat animals, like that's probably not going to change with being omnivorous creatures. one's going to choose the other one's going the other way. That's how it goes, right? But would you call those people evil for choosing that and then using those byproducts after eating those animals to use fully? I mean, if they're going to kill the animals, would you rather them not use its body?
Yeah, sorry, if we could just say unalive because we're on TikTok, instead of KILL. So I don't necessarily, I wouldn't, if I don't know a person, I wouldn't say that they're evil. I mean, I might say that the action is evil, but then it depends on their situation and their understanding. So, like I haven't always been vegan, and I'm sure that most people on the panel weren't vegan at some point. But I wouldn't say that before we were educated and knew better, we were evil because we're
Well, I
all
mean,
brought.
I don't
We're
really
all,
like that type of wording. Sorry.
Not finished. Because we're all born into this system, and we're almost like indoctrinated into this system that exploits animals, and we're told that it's necessary and that it's normal. And our parents, who we look up to and who are good people, they do it. So we think that it can't be bad if people that we respect are doing it, right? So yeah, in short, the answer is no. I wouldn't necessarily say that they were evil, but I would say that the action itself, yeah. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying I just don't really. I hear what you're saying. I guess should have just let you finish, but you didn't really say anything I kind of disagree with. I mean, the only thing is, I mean, I just don't. I feel like when I speak to a lot of people, at least about this topic in general, it seems like people think that, or not even think, just people assume that a lot of people that do consume meat or animal products are just I guess unlearned on what and why they do so. And I don't want to paint that as like maybe that might be the commonality as far as like the average person, but I do think people that like at least know like what they're eating and how they're doing, doing diets, like people are doing diets these days as well as like muscle builders and people who go into those food realms on how they should treat their body, right? So I do think at least the consensus with those people that I feel like they're knowledgeable. I've done a little bit of dietary things myself, but I mean, what's the question? I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think being a vegan is bad, or veganism in general is bad. I don't think it's a hurtful, harmful thing, as I guess most people who consume meat think. But
Okay.
I do think that for long periods of time, at least as far as what I've been concerned, again, it could just be my experience, but I've seen those people deteriorate physically and would need like supplements in other ways. So to me, it paints the picture as you can't be a vegan your entire life. You would have to supplement the things you aren't getting from animal flesh. Because I mean, I just go off of how
Hold on,
evolution goes,
but that
science and
wouldn't.
stuff.
Sorry, but that wouldn't make a person not vegan if they were taking supplements, right?
Well, I mean, I guess so. I mean, again, I like I said, I'm not super knowledgeable on how
Well, no, well,
veganism is practiced.
yeah, if the supplement didn't contain any form of animal exploitation, then they wouldn't. Do you acknowledge, Pumpkin, that you can be healthy and thrive on a plant-based diet?
I don't. I do not.
You do not. Okay. Well, what if I gave you evidence that says we can? So,
I
like,
would
for
then do my
example,
research and I'm
the
sorry, go ahead.
largest organization of nutritionists and dietitians in the world, they say this is the consensus of dietetics, that we can thrive on a plant-based diet, that it can be healthy and nutritious for all life stages. And that's based on all of the science we have available. This is like the consensus of that group.
It's not the I've seen some of the things. I mean, if you can give me your materials, I would be more than happy to check them out and do my due diligence on them. But as far as what I've been read so far, and again, I'm not like super into like the idea, because I mean it's just like a normal thing to me. Everybody eats plants or eats animals, either or. Doesn't really bother me or affect my daily life. But I do like having these conversations because I am curious on just the long termness of it. Because I do have a lot of family members that practice, and some of them waver or do whatever they feel comes with the parameters that they want to do. But as every time I've
Pumpkin
seen it
kid.
happen,
So
Yeah. So we have a study called the Epic Oxford study. We actually have three of these type of studies that are done on 500,000 people with over 30 years of data, and the people who were on a plant-based diet, not only that they were healthier, but they lived longer.
And anecdotally, I've been vegan for 20 years. I, my doctor says I'm in great shape. I am able to, I'm able to outrun my kid. I boulder. I can lift over 300 pounds. All of these things. So anecdotally, there's that. But you know what it took for me to get there? It took for me to relearn how to eat. And so that's why a lot of people have problems when they first become vegan, is that they've been taught to eat a specific way. And with me, what I did was I at first just cut out the animal products, and that's not good, right? That's like if you try to learn Latin by just cutting out the Germanic words that you already speak.
Understandable.
It doesn't work, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, people definitely have problems because they don't know what they're doing yet, and it takes time to learn. It also takes resources.
Well, I do know, like, but I think if you ask me personally, I think the average human consumes too much meat because even if you look at a lot of the omnivorous, like, let's say primates, for example, that are out there, they don't eat meat all the time. They eat maybe once or twice, like meat products. I want to say I guess I got to check the research again, but they don't eat it as often as we do. You know what I'm saying? So I do understand and think that the average human probably does consume too much meat, and maybe there's a different balance as far as like consuming animal products or whatever. But I mean, that's just at least my personal feelings about it.
Yeah, so Pumpkin, let's say so. Obviously, I've given you the source, which is the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, and you can go and check that in your spare time, in your own time. But
Thank you.
let's say you're convinced. Hypothetically, let's say you find out now that you can thrive and that you can be healthy on a plant-based diet. Do you then think that you have a moral obligation to go vegan and to stop exploiting other animals?
Well, not really, because I mean that would. I mean, it's a lot of infrastructure that would have to be changed. I mean, if we was to think about it, like let's say, for example, I do agree with you, and I'm on the whole ship, wholeheartedly. This would have. I mean, there's no way I could think of that would make it not be violent because of just how deeply into our infrastructure as a society it is. Like we use animal products in almost 80% of the things that we make and do. I mean, I know the way technology is going, they're trying to pull that back a little bit more, but it's kind of hard to break an infrastructure of a society that like
What about
built it on top
you?
of that.
No?
But me myself, I mean, again, if I believed, probably, but because I haven't checked the research yet. But if I happen to believe, maybe I would. But as far as I'm concerned right now, I mean, it doesn't really affect my daily life as much because I don't really eat like
Yeah.
gross foods like
Sorry,
that. You know what I'm saying?
Pumpkins. All. So, can I give you a bit of perspective? Because all I'm hearing is, oh, it doesn't affect me and my lifestyle, and oh, it'd be bad for me. But the thing is that there's a victim at the end of your choices. He's dropped down, so I don't know if he's gone.
I think
Yeah.
he had a phone call or something, but
Okay. Yeah, people are just way too focused on, oh, but it might be inconvenient for me, and how is this going to benefit me or help me? Like, yeah, we have to think about the victims when there's a victim at the end of our choices.
yeah, 100%. I was gonna go into that too.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he'll come back up at some point, but yeah, I'm gonna keep on with the requests. We haven't got many more, so hey, that is beautiful singing, but we're here for conversations. Elijah. No, he's dropped. Let's try Boom Boom Trap. Hey, are you over 18?
Hey, how's it going? You can hear me?
Yeah, are you over 18?
I'm sorry.
Are you over 18?
Oh yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. What's your understanding of veganism, first of all?
Just eat plant-based foods.
That would be one consequence of being vegan, but it's the ethical principle that we should live without exploiting other animals. So it goes beyond what we eat. We don't exploit them for any purpose where we can avoid it. So, not for clothing, entertainment, testing, labor, those kind of things too. So, would you agree that we should respect other animals?
Yeah, for sure. I think we should look at them like beings, for sure, like human beings, like beings with their own soul and
Okay.
just their own essence and stuff.
Yeah. Do you think that we can respect them and exploit them at the same time?
No, not really, because we're like at the top of the food chain. We have a brain, we can think, so we can logic. So we know more, we know better than an animal and stuff like that. So we should have that morality within us to choose not to exploit an animal that, can't really defend itself how we
Okay.
can.
Sure. Well, that's the vegan position then. So, since you agree with the vegan position, do you feel there's anything preventing you from being vegan and living in alignment with your morals?
I mean, honestly, besides having access to healthier, plant-based alternatives, um, I think it would be lack of information. But nowadays we have the internet. We can look at uh, ways to go about being vegan and the alternatives. But it's just really having access to them in the supermarkets and stuff like that.
So, having access to plant-based products in the supermarket.
Right, right, yeah.
So, so do you shop at a supermarket now? You have access to a supermarket and
Yeah, and they have vegan some vegan stuff, like some, but it's
okay.
not as accessible. And the
What do you
only
mean
my
it's
other
not
thing,
accessible?
yeah, there's just not a lot of options and stuff like that. And also, I was just concerned a little bit about deficiencies in my body that I was grew up learning that we needed from meat. But then, I
Okay.
did my little research, and
Um,
I know we can get protein off of other things like plants and stuff like that.
yeah.
Usually the only thing we can get off of meat is vitamin B12, and
Okay.
I just learned you could get that off mushrooms. So it's like pretty much
Okay.
anything that we get from an animal, we can get it from a plant.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll come back to the deficiencies because I want to address what you said initially first, which was that there are not many options. So obviously in the supermarket, there's going to be more options that with animal exploitation involved, right? Because more people are demanding those products, right? Because there's more non-vegans than there are vegans at the moment, right? Um, but if you purchase those products and create a demand for those products, then they're going to be replaced with more of those products. So I guess my question is, do you think that there are enough options for you to consume a plant-based diet in your local supermarket?
Um, Not too much, but you can start. There's enough to start.
Okay, so do you have access to rice, beans, pasta, lentils, fruits, veggies, all of
Yeah,
these things? Yeah,
yeah.
so
I guess
so
I guess it would just come down to like doing my research and coming up with dishes at home that I can know to create and just yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess I think that the most important thing, I think the most important thing is having like the will and having the motivation to go away and to be vegan because, I think that once you have that, then you do find a way and you do look into like research and you look into what options you have and um, how to adapt certain dishes and things like that. But what you have to have before that is the motivation. So what I would probably recommend, have you ever seen the documentary Dominion?
No.
I would definitely recommend giving that a watch, Boom Trap, because for me, before I went vegan, I knew absolutely nothing about nutrition. I'm a pretty bad cook, I'm not very good with that sort of thing, but I watched that documentary, and after that finished, I knew that I had to find a way. I knew that I had to be vegan, because putting the animals in that position for me, it just wasn't an option for me anymore. I knew that, like, there's no way that I can be part of this. I've got to find a way. I've got to do it. So I did. And if you've got that motivation, you've got that willpower, then you will do it. You will find a way, no matter what.
Right.
If you experience barriers or obstacles, then obviously you'll find a way to overcome them. But yeah, obviously, I don't know if we should really talk about deficiencies, because you've acknowledged that we can get all of the information online, and everything that we need can be obtained on a plant-based diet. But if you have any specific concerns when it comes to nutrition, we do have Chip on the panel, who is a nutritionist. So thanks for the roses, by the way, Chip and Axel. That's awesome. Really appreciate it.
Axel is just not stopping. I'm curious because it's easy to be vegan. Like a lot of the times, I think the concern of people is like the concern itself is way more complicated and seems much harder than the change itself, because the change is only hard the first couple of days until you realize what you want or should eat, and then it's easy. It's just life as usual.
Right. Yeah, definitely. It's and I feel lighter when I eat vegetables and food and fruits and stuff like. I feel way lighter, way less dense than when I eat dense food like meats and stuff like that. I feel like the actual human was created to just only intake plant based things. I think it was just the programming that I was born into, which kind of forced me to eat the meat and stuff like that. I would say
Well,
the approach that got me into being vegan, I would say it wasn't really too much the torture of the animals, which that's sad and all that. I ended up garnering empathy, sympathy for that later on. But it was more looking at the facts of how much meat harms the human body compared to plant-based diets. Just looking at the scientific facts on how plant-based diets is way more healthier to the body was really what got me to be vegan. And then I sympathized with the whole
yeah, yeah.
animal suffering and stuff like that.
So by the way, I just want to correct some things out there, because first of all, you're talking about a plant-based diet, not being vegan. Being vegan is a thing for the animals, and I just want to add, because it's true that white meat and red meat can be detrimental to the body, but not all types of meat are detrimental, and that's not the point. I don't think anybody here is making the claim that somehow you cannot be healthy while consuming animal products. That would be disingenuous and false, and we're not in the business of misleading people. What our claim is that you can be at least just as healthy on a plant-based diet, and chances are that if you're going to meet your macronutrients on a plant-based diet as you did on an animal-based diet, then you will most likely be healthier. At least that's what the data shows. But there is no promise that if you go plant-based, you'll be vegan, you'll be healthy. You may eat potatoes all day long, and that means being plant-based. That doesn't mean you'll be healthy. So you still need to be sure that you get all your nutrients in. I don't know. I think Gem's link tree can help you with all that. You have all the things you need there. But I hope you understand that this is about the animals. Like, as much as you want to talk about yourself and the food, we're here to speak about the animals, because this is an injustice towards the animals. We just happen to use animals for food, and everybody thinks this is about food. But no, it's about the animals.
Right. That's why I mentioned that I started garnering the sympathy and the empathy for the animal later on in life through my own personal journey, as far as me taking shrooms and seeing everything as a living being. But I'm just telling you so you can, for future reference for the approach. There's a lot of people that don't understand that, because they think that it's a natural part of life to just, slaughter animals. They don't see it the way you guys see it, like, oh my God, it's so evil. They see it like a natural part of life. They grew up since kids learning that you got to eat a chicken and an egg. So they don't really see it too crazy like that. It's just a natural part of life. So just at least me personally, going through it through the food facts and the science first and the health benefits. That's what got me first. And then, not that I don't care about animals or nothing like that. I'm just being genuine with my approach. That's how I started caring for the animals. It was really more of
learning about how the animals affect my body, and then I just so happened to later on notice everything they were going through as well, which is like, oh wow. So it's
Yeah,
nothing against
so
the animals or nothing that you know.
yeah, so we're not saying that you can't become vegan like via first going plant-based, and I think that it's that can be like a way in into veganism, that maybe because you're not consuming animals. And I think that a lot of people, that's like the biggest kind of barrier for them, and then they're not as defensive, or then they're more like open to being vegan once they're not actively participating in such a big part of their exploitation. So
I
yeah, we're
mean,
not saying that you can't.
I believe that's the overall point. Anyways, you guys are trying to get people to not eat animals. So I mean, at least they're not eating the animals, whether they care or not. I would rather they care for the animals, of course, spiritually. But I mean, if they're not eating the animal, that's what you guys are trying to do, anyways, get them to not eat it.
Yeah, but, well, not just that, because obviously veganism does go beyond that. But I was just saying that we're not saying that you can't get into veganism through like a health concern initially, or something like that. But obviously veganism is for the animals. So can I ask, Boomtrap, because I just want to bring it back to the victims, because everything that you said, when I said, do you feel there's anything preventing you, you were talking about access, or there's not many options, and I'd have to find alternatives and things like that. Do you think that any of this, or doing any of that, is more difficult than what the animals experience, or less difficult?
I mean, they're getting slaughtered, so I mean, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they're yeah. And then I know animals when like if I see another human carcass laying around, I know what I'm aware of because we're the same species. So I'm sure if an animal can't really logically think too much, them seeing another animal of their kind getting slaughtered in front of them, I'm pretty sure spiritually they understand what's going on, and
Hmm.
them being next, and the fear, just the energy of fear and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and the suffering. So that's mainly not just them being slaughtered, but the situations they go through before they be. So I'm sure they're suffering.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to mention that because I think that, it can be easy to think, oh, this is, slightly inconvenient for me, and oh, I have to do a little bit of research, or find out what I can switch in this recipe initially, until you get used to it. But then, that little bit of inconvenience is nothing compared to what the animal is having to endure if you buy the alternative. So I think it's about putting it into perspective. But I was going to ask, so let's say you were in the position of your victim, so you were being exploited for your body. How urgently would you want your injustice to end?
I mean, I'm pretty sure urgently we wouldn't want to go through that.
Yeah. So how many more animals should be exploited for you from now on?
Well, I don't eat meat as much anymore. Honestly, I don't
Yeah.
really even eat meat. I
Okay.
might eat a
But
turkey bacon once in a while, but
okay. So how many
I,
more animals should be exploited for you from now on?
none, zero,
No.
since
Okay.
yeah.
So vegan from now?
Well, yeah, I guess I have been, that's what I'm trying to say. But the transition,
Yeah, I
it
mean,
just,
yeah, but I mean, you just said that you sometimes eat a turkey, or a piece of a pig. So
yeah,
I'm saying,
yeah, I deal with homelessness and things like that. So sometimes I get free meals, and as far as me getting my vitamins and stuff, sometimes I would have to take what comes. I don't have the luxury like that to be able to
oh,
choose my meals.
so
'Cause,
wait,
yeah.
so when I said to you, do you feel there's anything preventing you from being vegan? And you just said like access in the supermarket. Is there like a wider issue here? You saying something about homelessness now?
Oh
Is
yeah,
there?
because mostly everything is accessible. Even sometimes when people give you a meal, they donate food to you. It's usually not a vegan meal and stuff like that. So I would kind of like,
So
yeah.
do you depend on donations, or do you shop in the supermarket? Because I'm confused, because you've not mentioned any of this before now.
I mean, yeah, that's just more personal homeless type stuff and things that I. But just as far as being vegan, most things that be accessible are usually not vegan. So, but I still try to make my sacrifice and things like that. I would try to
Wait,
keep
no,
the
no, no.
animals more in mind.
being vegan isn't about making any sacrifices. It's just about not exploiting others. You don't. It's like if I'm not exploiting another human, I'm not making a sacrifice on me. I don't think we should be seeing it that way because this is their lives here. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just really confused, Boomtrap, because we spoke about your situation. I said, do you feel there's anything preventing you? You mentioned something about shopping in the supermarket, and now when I ask you if you're going to be vegan from now you're saying that you rely on food donations. So, which you didn't say anything about before. So, are you saying that it's not possible for you to like source all of the food that you want to buy, like plant-based foods?
I mean, yeah, it is. I guess just
Okay.
basically go fast whenever I don't have access to plant based stuff. Just I could fast as well. But again, I know it may look like it's just I'm thinking about more my health and my body. I'm not thinking about the animal in itself. And I get that that's what you guys stand for, I guess. And I didn't know that veganism stood for the animals. I thought veganism was just plant based. Eating plant based. But now that you guys are just you're pro
Okay.
animals, then that's cool. That's neat.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. So would you be willing to watch Dominion?
Yeah, I'll check it out after this, actually.
You're welcome to take a screenshot. So this link here, it's got Dominion, which shows behind the scenes what happens in these systems that exploit animals. There's also something called Challenge 22. No, actually, I've switched that out. Animal Justice 21. That's a 21-day challenge. I would sign up to that. They do have a nutritionist on there, I believe, who can help with any like queries that you have. And yeah, I think that they can offer you support and things like that as well. So I would recommend those two things. I don't know if David or Chip want to add anything before we move on. But otherwise, yeah, then yeah, that's
Yeah, awesome. I just wanted to make sure because I know the guy that spoke before me, he was saying, but so I wasn't sure if I heard him right. He said that eating animals is healthier than eating plants.
No, I
um
didn't say that. I said you can eat animals and be healthy. I said on average, if you're going to be eating the same macros, chances are you'll be healthier on a plant-based diet.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
no,
made
I
me
don't.
go that's what made me go vegan. But the whole animal part, that's cool. Like the animals' feelings and emotions and stuff.
Yeah, I
That's
mean, the whole point I was trying to make is that we can also be healthy while consuming some form of human flesh. Doesn't mean that we should do that, right? The point isn't we can be healthy in doing a lot of things. The one thing a lot of people think that humans are have dominated the earth because we're intelligent or have been top of the food chain or whatever because we're intelligent, but in fact, it is because we are adaptable to a lot of things. We have a digestive system that can digest a lot of stuff. So, we can be healthy with a lot of things. And the point being that, well, at least what the data shows is that on a plant-based diet, we tend to be the healthiest. So, go that direction.
okay, sweet.
all
I
right.
think that's kind of that would be good to mention when you're trying to tell people about animals, not just because it's selfish for us, But honestly, that's what got me into being vegan, and then I started understanding the whole animals going through suffering and stuff like that after as well, which kind of helps.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to move on, but you are welcome back up at some point. I do these every week, so from 7:30 till 10. I'll be back next Tuesday. So if you have watched Dominion, it'd be cool to see what you thought about it. But yeah, we are going to move on.
Bye.
But appreciate you coming up, Boomtrap. Right, cool. So the next guest we had last week. Was it last week?
I
I
think
have
it was last week. Yeah.
Yeah, I have 15 minutes left, by the way. So yeah, we have Hitch 22. So we had a conversation last week, right?
Yep.
Hitch, you might have to give a bit of a recap. Were you saying that you were like struggling to empathize with the animals in these industries, or what was going on?
Yeah, my point was that I understand all the arguments and agree with the arguments and don't need any, education on that you can be healthy while being vegan and the exploitation of animals and how immoral that is. So I understood the morality of it. I was just saying that I didn't feel it strongly enough to actually take action in my life over it.
Right, okay. And then we said that you should go away and watch Dominion,
Yeah.
and we're a bit skeptical. I'm just trying to remember.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You're a bit skeptical about whether it was going to actually have an impact on you, and if it was going to actually incite you to change. But you have gone away and watched it, and so I guess my question now would be, what were your thoughts when you were watching it, after you've watched it, and what is your position now?
Yeah, so I don't think there was anything in Dominion that I wasn't aware of. It wasn't like I saw one scene which I didn't know it happened. But what I did was I watched that Dominion 2 hours straight and concentrated on it and tried to take it in. And I was joining watching your live and joining this because it was almost like I was in the position where I kind of wanted to change, but I just didn't feel it strongly enough to really action. So I was kind of looking for that, and I think that watching Dominion had a much bigger impact on me than I expected. Just sitting focused on it for 2 hours, no distractions. I was like, yeah, I've got there is absolutely. I know there was no justification for this, but now I feel it. Now I know that there's no way that I can support this and allow this to happen. And Dominion is. There are some more fringe cases, and Chip said something really interesting before about eating less sentient animals, and I'm kind of interested in that. But the bigger fish to fry is, where most of the meat and animal products in our supermarkets and the leather for our car seats comes from, and where that comes from is undoubtedly immoral, in my opinion. And I think watching Dominion has convinced me that it is. And since I watched that last Wednesday, I've pretty. I don't know how long this will last for, but for now, I've gone mostly vegan. At that point, I still had shopping in my fridge from what I'd bought before that point, and I still consumed that, but I haven't bought any new animal products since then. And I feel fairly, who knows where I'll be in a month's time, but right now I feel quite committed to it and feel like I can follow through. And I think especially, and one thing I was reflecting on a lot is, I don't know if the scenes from Dominion are like not allowed to be shown on TikTok or something like that. Like you don't when you go through these accounts, you don't see people sharing images of it like in graphic detail. And I think and that kind of makes sense intuitively because it seems very graphic and it shouldn't be maybe it shouldn't be shown on the platform. But then you wonder why, because if everyone's going out and buying these products, I think everybody has the sort of moral responsibility to watch this and like hold your eyes to it and say and know that this is what you're being responsible for. So why can't we plaster all over mainstream television? Why can't it be plastered over TikTok? If it's fine, then put it on and let everyone see it and know what we're talking about. So I think it was good to watch it, and I think that my first step would be if I start to slip again and think, oh, maybe it's not as important, I think I'd go back and watch it again and just remind myself of. And some parts of it I couldn't watch, and I don't think I have to watch because there's parts of it where I've never, for dog meat or something, I've never eaten dog meat. I think it's fair enough that I can skip through that bit because I've got no moral contradiction there because I don't eat dog meat and it's horrible to watch. But I think that you can't go on eating pigs and cows and chickens and eggs and drinking milk and then not watch that footage. So it's had a big impact on me. For now, I'm committed to going vegan mostly. As like I said, there's fringe cases. Like I still don't care about the mussels. I still don't care about honey. But for those big sentient creatures, I think there's no justification for it, and I've got the motivation now to avoid those products.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to. I mean, you said a lot there, but I was gonna. There's lots of things that I was gonna say, but well, first of all, I think it's really cool. It shows your honesty and commitment that you sat down and watched it. So yeah, and I appreciate you coming back up as well and sharing your thoughts, because a lot of the times I'll have a conversation with somebody and never hear from them again, and I have no idea what's going on. So yeah, it's really cool to hear from, you know, somebody for a second time. I always say to people, you know, come back and let us know. So yeah, I really appreciate you coming back on again. Yeah, regarding the video use on TikTok, so scenes from Dominion, I think some parts would probably be able to get away with, because you can show things for educational purposes, but then we are limited to what we can show. So if it's got I won't say the word, but if it's got like BLOOD, then we won't be able to show that, or an animal who's deceased. Yeah, there are certain like limitations, so it can be difficult to try and get around that. But I absolutely agree with you that, you know, if people are going out and they're paying for this, they should know what it is that they're actually paying for. And I think that, you know, I think that they have a right to see that as well, because there's a lot of people who, you know, they wouldn't knowingly pay for that. And I think that, you know, that it's a big issue. And yeah, it's kind of ironic that you know, the meat industry, they're allowed to put these adverts up of, like, you know, green pastures and, you know, all of these idealistic scenes, and they can use advertisement, you know, with like cartoon cows smiling, or, you know, cartoon pigs, and yet we can't show the truth. Like they're allowed to like show all this propaganda, and like we are limited from sharing the truth. But that just shows the amount of power and influence that they have, you know, with all of their money. So yeah, I'm kind of going off into a bit of a rant there. So I guess I was gonna ask, so is it safe to say that is it safe to say that you're vegan going forward? But then you mentioned, I mean, I don't know much about mussels, but you mentioned that you're not convinced on the honey side. So I don't know
From
if
an animal welfare perspective, yeah, maybe there's an environmental argument there. I'm not educated on and could listen to. From an animal welfare perspective, morally, I don't see any issue with exploiting an insect.
okay. Although even though they're sentient.
Yeah, I'm open-minded to this. I'm not educated on it, but I've never, you know, these topics never really go into insects. If someone could really explain it to me, I'd be open-minded to it. But yeah.
So there's I used to do this stream with a friend, and he brought on a guest like a couple of times who was like an insect biologist, and most insects are sentient. Bees, 100% they're sentient. Yes. Um, it's it's hard to say, because we tend to think that because they're so small, maybe they have a very small brain or something. But it just goes to show how little you need for sentience, right? For an experience of life. Because maybe they don't remember everything as well as we do. Maybe their their cognitive capabilities are limited, but they do experience life. They do have, I mean, you know, ants have wars, ants have races, they have societies with structures in them. There's some pretty like,
I just had my house pesticided for ants.
yeah.
I didn't feel guilty about it.
No, I understand. Listen, when it comes to your house, I get it, right? Like, I don't want ants in my house. I
Yeah,
don't
fair enough,
want
and
bugs in my
that's
house.
consistent. That's fine.
But I wouldn't go outside and, you know, harm ants or insects or anything like that, right? Like, if a red ant comes on me, I will to try to get them off as fast as I can, or maybe even kill them if because, you know, they bite the hell out of you. But you know, bees, I feel like, you know, they do the same things to them that we do to other animals, as ridiculous as it sounds. But they do cut off the wings of the queen. They do forcefully inseminate the queen.
Yeah.
They
Look,
do a lot of really awful things.
maybe I would consider it and get there, but for me, I would have thought that you would also align that. Maybe I could get there on that. I don't know, but the biggest problem in the world is mammals and birds who we're exploiting. Like, I feel like they've definitely got a higher level of sentience and are suffering a lot more pain. And I'm
Yeah, but
completely behind you on that. I think that's a smaller issue, which I will consider, but Yeah, I think
But
your
Hitch,
mission is.
the problem is also this mentality of which one's a bigger issue, because to the victim that's suffering from injustice, that's the biggest issue happening to them, right? If you're a bee and somebody's cutting off your wings, that's the biggest injustice happening to you. And it's not, we shouldn't think like, especially since like honey is one of these things that you can so easily replace, right? Like just use syrup. Like we have so many syrups nowadays: apple syrup, date syrup.
Yeah, that's a different argument. I mean, maybe that's if it's so easy to do it that you wouldn't even notice the difference. That's a different argument. Whereas for pigs, even if it was extremely difficult for me to avoid pigs because I had to take a million supplements and it was really hard, I'd still say tough. Like that's the suffering they go through is not worth it, and I'll take extreme measures to avoid that. Whereas if you're saying you can easily supplement honey for something else, okay, no,
I
maybe
mean,
I'll do.
my point was more like, even if you do believe, like I was trying to say that it's late for me, but if even if you, as I said, every injustice is bad towards the individual that has an injustice. We can't compare injustices and say which one is worse, right? Like if I ask you, does somebody from Gaza have it worse than somebody from Ukraine? We can't say. They're both in really bad situations. And do any of them have it worse than a person who's being held at gunpoint in the United States? It's hard to say. Then all of them are in shitty situations. But when the injustice is happening to you, it's the injustice that's bad to you. But what I wanted to say afterwards is that even if you do see the injustice as minimal or as less important, because it's such an easy swap for you, at least err on the side of caution.
Maybe, yeah, maybe I can see that argument, yeah. But
yeah, well, I wanted to say, because obviously I understand that you acknowledge that bees are sentient, and I think so. I think the issue here is maybe like I'm not saying this in a mean way, but maybe like a lack of empathy for them, and I can absolutely relate to that, and I think most people can when it comes to like insects and even like fishes and animals, basically animals who we can't really like recognize their emotions as easily, because like with pigs and cows, and you can look into their eyes and you can watch Dominion, and you can see their suffering, and you can see what they're thinking based on how they're acting. But yeah, with certain animals it is more difficult to empathize with them. So I think I don't know if this is the same for every vegan, but when I went vegan, obviously it was out of empathy for most animals, but then it was an extension of the empathy to other animals who I had like difficulty empathizing with, like bees, for example, because you can't look into their eyes and relate to them. And maybe logically I understand that it's wrong to exploit bees, just like you understood last week, logically that it's wrong to exploit pigs, cows and chickens, but you didn't have the empathy. And that's a similar way that I feel about bees. But then what I do is, because I have the logical understanding, is I just extend the empathy that I have for pigs, cows, chickens, sheep, and dogs, all of these like mammals and all of these other animals, and I extend them to other sentient animals, because I understand that the other sentient animals, like the bees and the insects, although I can't like emotionally relate to them, I still understand that they have those similar feelings as the animals that I do relate to. So you can understand, you can kind of you understand that, you said you understand the suffering of like the pig, for example, but you also, although you can't see it, you understand that the bee can also feel that way, right?
So I got a question, because I think.
Wait, before you ask that, is that
Yeah.
am I making sense?
Yes, yeah, you are, and I could, and I'm open-minded that I could potentially align with that at some point.
And like Chip said, especially because it's so easy to avoid honey. Like,
yeah,
we have like a clear, like easy alternative. Just get syrup instead.
Yeah, what you're saying makes sense, and I would have to educate myself more about the sentience of bees, etc. But my question is, right now my mindset is more, a week ago I was happy to buy animal products, and now I'm quite pleased that I've decided I'm not doing that for larger animals, non-insects, non-small fish. My question is, I want to keep myself focused on making. I could easily imagine in a month's time I'll have changed my mind on this and come back, and I want to try and stay mentally focused on remembering the emotion I have from watching Dominion and focusing on that, and that's what I want to stay focused on. Maybe in a decade time, if I've successfully done that, maybe I'll turn my mental attention to dealing with this moral hypocrisy I've got
Hitch,
over bees, and maybe
can
I
I
shouldn't
just
do that.
Decade, bloody
Hitch,
hell.
can I just say something? Like, it seems like you understand everything. And I think one of the best ways to do this is like, so my therapist, after I was going through some struggles with seeing the things I did in slaughterhouses, uh, when I mentioned that I was doing advocacy, they mentioned that this is like the best therapy you could have, because then you get to talk about, what you witnessed, you get to advocate for a world of change, all these things. Like, maybe it's something you can consider, advocating for, getting in a community of people that think this way, and then that'll help you keep your why. I mean, the why is foundational to veganism,
Yeah, that'd
and
be great. That's why I've joined this live now, to try and
yeah.
reinforce it in my own mind, definitely. And I've still got a lot. There's not time to talk about it, but I've still got a lot of challenges. Like, what do I do for my kids? Like right now, I know what you said. Vegan
Did you
diet
go to
is
Challenge 22?
no, I've not done that. I've not done that. I'll definitely take a look at that. But like
Yeah.
I've got the question for my kids. Like, I know that vegan diet can be healthy at all stages of life. I trust that.
Yeah.
I'm extremely nervous about making any sort of change there. You know what?
Yeah.
Kids. Yeah.
I have friends that have vegan kids from birth actually. Actually, my co-organizer just she has a baby. I don't know how many months old, but and then I have friends that have, like, there's vegans from birth. So there's lots of people that you can find that can. There's even communities surrounding people that have kids that are vegan. There's even a vegan camp that's going on near where I live, just for strictly for kids, so they can, you know, hang out together and stuff. So there are ways. Is what I'm getting at.
I'll think about it, but I'm sure you can understand why I'd be nervous over it. You want your kids to have the best nutrition, and kids are fussy eaters and have their own sensory issues, and
Yeah.
it's a difficult thing. And yeah, definitely, I'll think about it and want to overcome it. But
Yeah, and I
there
would
are
argue they'd live
yeah,
healthier, more meaningful lives too. The eating animal
hopefully, yeah.
products is, comes from basically a product of violence, right? And the mindset and all of that. So again, it's keeping your why and your focus on the animals. I think the health thing is just an extension, very
Also,
easily.
Yeah.
also, I wanted to add, like for kids, especially, I usually tell people that it's a very important lesson to teach your children that sometimes the right thing to do isn't always the easiest or what everyone else does,
Yeah.
and it's such a big lesson that you can learn as a young adult that sometimes society doesn't get it right, and you have to do what's right, and that's an amazing lesson to learn. So even if your kids don't really follow through with it and you do it, kids like to make their parents proud. They look up to you, and if they see you doing it, I'm sure at some point they'll understand and they will want to
I'm
follow.
sure my kids are young. I'm sure that I could easily explain to them what happens to animals and make that connection for them between the farmyard animal they see and what's on their plate, and they would probably immediately not want to touch it again. I know I
Especially
could
if you
do.
go to a sanctuary. Like I have heard success
I'm
stories of
sure I'd do that.
sanctuaries.
I mean, for me, the next step is I've been thinking this for 6 days. So before I take any steps with kids or anything like that, then I want to solidify my own commitment to it first, really.
Yeah.
I know you haven't got much time. I want to ask Chip a question before I go as well,
Can
because it's
I,
nutrition. Yeah,
before you ask that question, sorry, can I
sure.
just add something real quick about the kid thing?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that I'm quite passionate about this because obviously I was raised as a non-vegan, but I think that, yeah, we should look at our kids, and even if they're very, very young, they still, a lot of kids have love and like resonate with animals, because
yeah,
they too are they look at an animal and they say, oh, you're vulnerable like me. And I think that that's the reason that kids do like empathize and relate with other animals. And I think that if you're this is just from my personal experience being raised as a non-vegan. If you're raising your kid, and as a child, I was one of those kids who I always loved animals and wanted to be around them all the time. If you're raising a kid and you're literally purchasing like products of exploitation on their behalf, that's a huge disservice to them. And I feel like, I kind of feel like that was a massive disservice to me to do that to me for years and years, knowing, and now I have to live with the fact that they went through that for me. And I wish that my parents would have raised me to closer align with my morals, because and you have that understanding as well. I just wanted to point that out, because I think that if they align with veganism, then they could thank you when they're older for that, because you
Yeah,
haven't put them in a position where they've been responsible for something horrific, and I
yeah,
have to live with that.
yeah.
And
That makes sense, and
yeah.
that could be the argument. That could be the position I end up going behind. At the end of the day, with your kids, you want the absolute best for them, and no matter what. And if I felt that involved animal exploitation, I would do the best for my kids. But maybe it doesn't require animal exploitation, and that's something I'll think about.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, go ahead and ask your question for
I
Chip.
want to, yeah, because I've been dealing with this practically now for a week, and actually, it is really easy to be vegan. But I had a question for Chip, which is one thing I did to make it easier for myself was get Huel. I don't know if that's I don't know if
Great,
there's any great. Did you say?
great. Yeah, it's great.
Oh, that's good. That's good to
Yeah,
hear. I didn't.
just make sure you track how much you have.
Yeah,
I
I use chronometer to. I have done for a year. Used chronometer to measure everything I'm having, and when you get Huel on chronometer, it makes it look great because you're just getting a hit of everything. And I didn't know if there was something
Yeah.
hidden in there that means that I shouldn't be doing that. And
No. Huel is good. It's just not. I wouldn't just eat only Huel. I think that's
yeah,
the only thing I would say. But otherwise, Huel is great. I like the protein bars, for example. I eat Huel protein bars every day. And the drinks, I replace them sometimes with my meal. And I also get the Huel meals in case of emergencies. I use those.
yeah,
But yeah, Huel is great. It's a good
yeah. The only
alternative.
thing is the company sent 3 free protein bars with it, which were dairy-based protein bars along with the order. So
Wait, but Huel doesn't make dairy-based protein
no,
bars. What
no,
do you mean?
it was from Fit Fuel company that sell
Okay,
fuel
okay.
in the UAE. So
Okay.
unfortunately they delivered that on the side. But anyway, all right.
Yeah,
Thanks for that advice because it is very convenient.
it is. Yeah. It's a good one. It's a lot of vitamins and a lot of good macros and micros. Did you get the black edition or the
Yeah,
normal one?
I got the black. Yeah,
Nice.
I got the black. It's my family on here at the minute. It makes it really easy to just not bother making dinner and have a Huel.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's everything I want to say. I want to say thanks as well. I want to say thanks because I'm not gonna. You're gonna have a range of different people who come up to speak to you from lots of different places. I was in a place where I was primed. Like I didn't even know it myself, but I think I wanted to become vegan, and I was just like looking to sort of express that and see where I'd get to. So thanks for that. And I think that I think that a lot of people who join the channel, from apart from the clear trolls, I think like it's good if you can. I think the one thing I'd say, I think there's some people who you've kicked off the live, who I think, was that not a person who a longer, more sympathetic conversation would have been more worthwhile? Because if I felt like there was a couple of people who maybe were on the verge of, if you could really convince them, might take something away. And I think if you're antagonistic to these people, it's not going to be the best method of winning them over. And I appreciate I'm saying that. I think it's strange me saying that as someone who's only just made a decision to avoid animal products. So, I'm just sharing my opinion on it, but I don't know whether sometimes there's an opportunity to go with a lighter, more empathetic approach and try and keep people on your side a bit, where sometimes it gets a bit antagonistic. But I've got no authority to say that. I'm just sharing what my opinion is from watching this.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your opinion. I don't know. I think that I think that I'm almost like overly, what's the word I'm looking for? Like overly courteous. Like I give
Look,
people
Gracious.
so many, yeah, I give people so
usually you
many
are.
opportunities before I
You,
pick them off.
yeah. No, no. Look, don't get me wrong. Usually, I think what you're doing in general is great. I was just giving a little
Yeah.
bit of feedback on maybe something that I think usually you are courteous, and most of the time you are, and most of the time it's effective, and it's been effective with me. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that the last thing that I want to do is push away somebody who could potentially be vegan. So yeah, this is why I'm always like over cautious with kicking people off, and I only do it if I feel that there's no getting through to them. But yeah, no, I appreciate that your thoughts, and I appreciate you coming back up and sharing what your position is, and if I think you are following me, so yeah, you are welcome to come back again, and if you've got any further questions or anything,
yeah,
I do this like weekly,
maybe I'll
so
come back. Maybe I'll come back in a few months just to let you know I'm still vegan. If you don't hear from me, it's
yeah.
gone badly.
Oh God. All
No, I know.
right, well,
No, I
yeah.
feel quite motivated at the minute. Hopefully, I will. I'll come back in a few months if it's still going well.
Yeah, you've just got to keep that motivation. And I think a lot of vegans do by having a community. I think somebody on the panel was talking about this, connecting with other people.
Supplements.
Yeah. Having that community of people, just because I do get worried after I've spoke to somebody, they've said they're going vegan, and I know that although they've got the intention to go vegan, they're going back out into a world full of non-vegans who are going to say they're going to oppose everything that I've said to them and talk them out of it, and they're going to see all these adverts, and they're going to be I worry that it's going to be undone.
You know what?
But if you do
I'll
have a
tell you something.
community,
I was nervous about that with like my boss in work. I know what he's like with food and stuff, and I said to him, you know what? I've been thinking about it. And I watched this documentary, and I think I'm going to be going vegan because I think it's the best thing. And I thought he was going to be like, ridiculous, and I love my chorizo, and what are you doing? And his reaction shocked me because he was like, yeah, you know what? Because no, I get it. Like like he's not when he being vegan, but he was like, yeah, like red meat's really bad for you, and these factory farmers, like what they do is not good, and I get my it's not the right answer, I know, but I get there's a farm by me where I live in France, and there's a bit more ethical way of getting it, and the reaction was not what I expected, and it was a lot less intimidating than I expected, and I think the world is changing, and it's
yeah,
so easy to get vegan options.
yeah,
Okay, some of your guests don't, and that's part of what I was talking about as well. Some people you've got to sympathize with medical conditions and the economic circumstances and stuff. For me, it's extremely easy to get a vegan diet, and there's a lot of acceptance in my social circle on that. So really, there's no excuse not to do it.
yeah. No, I agree. I think a lot of the times, like data just looks at like vegan statistics, like the number of vegans or like plant-based dieters or whatever. But you have to look at the mindset as well. Like people are getting closer to becoming vegan. Most people are aware, at least of, well, they understand it. They're familiar of it. So yeah, they're getting closer to being vegan. So yeah, I agree. There's a mindset shift.
I have one last question because my dog's just walked in. What's your
Okay.
opinion on pets? I regret massively getting my dog the way I got him now. Um, Obviously now that I've got him, I'm going to give him the best life he possibly can. But what's your stance on pets? And I think I've heard you say companion animals before. I don't know if that was a code I can read between the lines, which means you're against having pets. But I don't know what you think about
No,
pets.
I think like a lot of vegans maybe have an issue with the word pet because it kind of like implies that they're here like as our pet, to be petted, that they're like an object or whatever. But I'm not against like the principle of having an animal in your home. If you've rescued them, I'm against breeding animals, of course,
Yeah,
because
yeah. I got my
that's
dog as a puppy, which I regret now. I would like to have
yeah,
another
yeah,
dog,
yeah.
but I would rescue it. But I regret that decision. But there's nothing I can do about it now.
Yeah,
So
no, of course, yeah. We can only act on our current situation. We can't change what we did before, but yeah, I would say if somebody has brought a dog from a breeder, then obviously they've got the commitment to continue caring for that animal, and if they're thinking of adopting a dog, then obviously we should be rescuing dogs because there's a lot of dogs in shelters or cats, or we should be trying to give them the best life as possible without encouraging breeding more animals, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, yeah, I think I'll end it here then, but it was good to speak to you again, Hitch.
Thank you.
All right, nice one. Okay, I'm gonna drop you. Yeah, well, I do have to go. So it's gone past 10. I went a little bit over because we had like a little hiccup at the start, but Chip saved the day like a hero. So yeah, I was able to come and do this, so that's cool. But yeah, it's been good, and I do have to shoot off pretty quickly, but I appreciate Chip and David for coming up, Chip for saving the day, every vegan in the comment section who's been here. Yeah, I appreciate you all, and to the others who have been on the panel as well.
Thank you so much, Jem. Appreciate it. I hope everyone can subscribe to Jem, hit that bell notification, and also support Jem to become a full-time activist. Look at the work she's doing. 22 lives here, busting it for the animals. We need her to become full-time.
Yeah, I'll do 2 a week if I become full-time.
Jem,
Maybe more.
I think you need to shut off the YouTube stream first this time instead of the TikTok. Because if you shut off the TikTok,
Okay.
I'll be streaming the end of the TikTok.
Got you. Right, okay. Well, before I do that, let me I just need to say thank you to Marcos, who has kindly sent a donation for €20. I just wanted to say thank you, and I really appreciate you, Marcos. That's so kind of you, and I really appreciate the support. I did see it come through, but I was I was busy talking and stuff, so I've only just had the chance to thank you for that. And yeah, thank you to everybody who was patient earlier as well whilst we were sorting out the issues. I'm glad that it's worked out in the end, and hopefully it will be all sorted next week. But yeah, thank you also to anybody who helped moderate as well. Appreciate you all. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here for everyone. I normally just say bye to YouTube at the end, but yeah, this is bye to everyone. All right, I'll end the TikTok now then, Chip. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, once you end the TikTok, I'll also end the streaming on YouTube.
All right. Cool.